stories that Ram posted on Trader TV to find out what's going up on that wall, baby. But it is something bigly. You guys ready? All right. It is time now to send you to the Big Kahuna show.
That's it.
Obi and Obi's obviously in for Neil. And the Katina man is back. He's locked and he's loaded.
I got a heap of phone calls to make too, so let's see. I got to get on the guy, the warranty coverage guy. He doesn't want to answer the call.
He doesn't want to answer his call.
Yeah, my car. Yeah.
Katina man, don't you think you should pay him a visit there if he's ignoring his phone calls? You might have to pay him a visit, huh?
Like, you know what I mean?
Joey Hands might have to pay him a visit.
It would be more than Joey Hands, I'll tell you that right now. For sure.
All right, Joseph.
Yeah,
we're doing it live. We'll see everybody tomorrow. 2-hour show, shortened day tomorrow. Make sure to catch that with us. Big boys are that way.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Yeah, thank you. We still haven't gotten that, welcome to the afternoon show, kind of that bumper that we were looking for.
Still waiting for
over there. What's in my pocket? Oh, my wallet. That's right.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so we're actually both in position. So once this clears up, we're still on Big Bear AI, and you're in the TQs. Welcome to the afternoon show. Robinhood's still under $100. You know, we tried it. It went up again, up through 101 into 101 and change. Thank you so much, Sharif and Joe, for the big show there on the morning, or I guess the midday show. And now it's you and I here into the close. Earnings tonight, pretty light again, so we'll wait to see if there's any action here going on. The only news that we really got throughout the day was that deal with Vietnam, and it didn't turn out to be that profitable or that much of a windfall there. Look at a stock like Lululemon. I don't know if they mentioned this on the midday show or not, but an up and down movement right there for Lululemon. And look where we wind up. We've got a deal. These are the terms of the deal. This is where we are. So we're actually right where we were in the beginning of this whole thing, right back to 245 and change for Lululemon. We've got DraftKings on our mind, Apple as well. Big trading there. Palantir today finally getting back to Greensville. I don't want to jinx it, but you're up 1.5% right now on Palantir. That's been a couple down days there, bouncing right now off 128 and change. So we definitely like those levels. But yeah, man, welcome back to the after show. I want to talk about the falling dollar, DXY there. Crypto. Oh, yes. I didn't even notice what crypto was doing right now. I bid up 4%, 109.2.
Let's go.
Right now for crypto. We like that. We'll also have a quick look here, Obi, at some of the altcoins. We'll do that for you guys in a couple minutes as well. We're ready to rock and roll. It's a gorgeous, just came from outside. Reason why I was a little late, I was talking with Randy there for a very, very long time. And
go for a walk or?
Yeah, I went to go get a nice coffee, but
I went and sat at the park for like half an hour.
Queens Park?
Yeah, Queens Park.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. The weather's beautiful. The sun's definitely beaming down. And yeah, I came back and this wall was gone. I was like, oh my God, look at all this space. So much room for activities. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of change here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can see in the back there. There's Randy right there. What's up? There's the jorts. Those are like old school jorts. Those are like, like skater. Like you're a skater. They're long. They're baggy.
I wonder if Randy ever used to be a skater. He definitely gives off.
Look at that. It's got like the Vans going on there. There's everything.
There's the wall.
There it is.
That used to be a meeting room.
That used to be the boardroom, one of 3 boardrooms here. Now gonzo. So, yeah, thanks everybody for your patience and everything. Yeah, I just saw someone in the chat. Yeah, sorry. If I said crypto was at 109, no, Bitcoin's at 109. Obviously, we do know the difference there between Bitcoin and crypto. But right now, Ethereum, another one also upside. Look at this today, up 7%. Today for Ethereum, and that could be ETH looking great right now, back up to 19 and change. We wait for this big breakout to happen here as well, taking out 21 and change. I mean, there's going to be a lot of action here this afternoon, I would think, especially if we are looking over there. IonQ, some of the QBTS, IonQ there, some of the quantum names. Look at this, 4.5% trying to go higher. I mean, the bull market is here. Everything, right? We talked about Robinhood at that Hyundai mark as well. They tried to go twice, failed basically both times right there. I mean, that got to 101, which is good enough, kind of like where we got out the first time, up and down there on Hood. And things are holding, man. SoFi holding that 18. And oh boy, man, did we ever make it. Again, like things have been going pretty good around here, and it's not always the case, but we'll celebrate when it is. You know, we're long Webull again in the swing account at $11. This thing's up to 14 right now, and we've been really liking the action here on Webull as well. So so far so good. Yeah, I know the position board's not working, but it's only because I have here. I'll get out of a share of Big Bear AI now mine should load up. There we go. So the thing is you got it. That's the only position I have. So you got to get, and for our position board to trigger, you got to get out of a position. You got to like give it a snapshot. So it can a quick little
refresh,
quick little update. That's a fact. Jack, thank you so much. Mike P. Ryder right there saying that Trader TV Live is #1. And if you find anybody else that's anywhere close to us, please send the link to me, and I'll figure out a way to crush them. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and yeah, I am serious about that. That's part of what we did with this renovation, right? By the way, what happened to Uber right there? Up to $94 now, back in $91.80. This is actually looking pretty good down there.
Dropped off some passengers there.
Find it, yeah, it got dropped off there and maybe increased their fares a bit there. But yeah, we'll wait to see what's up with Uber. So, all right, thank you so much to everybody again. And what I meant by that, just Studio 8 reno. Like, that's what we're doing, man. You wait till you see some of the additions that we're going to have around here. We're planning on a huge video wall. We're planning on different desk configuration where all 4 of us can kind of get together, have some fun throughout the whole day. Different interview spacing, different board.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1. I don't know if there's sound to this. Like, I can't really hear. So
look at that.
basically everything. No sound.
Everything melted.
So I'll just talk over it. Everything is melting around here. It's like this nice summer days here in Toronto. So we are renovating the whole studio, complete, huge like dump of capital into all this, and yeah, just to prove to everybody, not to prove anything, but we're not going anywhere, and we're not going anywhere, anytime soon. This studio is going to be something hopefully special that we can all be proud of. So, all right. That's a lot. I think I just talked for 7 straight minutes there. That was my bad.
Oh boy.
Alphabet was on your mind.
Yeah, I'm watching Alphabet. I got involved with Google during the midday there. It looked like we were taking a little bit of a turn, so I took a little bit of a short. Threw that stop on. This is actually when I went for a walk. I just threw on my stop. I'm like, all right, well, if this gets back above, I definitely don't want to be in it right now. And look at that, it kind of breaks that 178, pushes back up above. I come back from my little trip to the park, and we're trading above 178.5. So I was like, all right, well, it's a good thing that I kind of left that one alone and came back to some strength. Again, I like it even better if it can go even higher, if it can extend even more. I probably like it even better. But this market is continuing to push to the upside here as of right now. You can see that both the Nasdaq and the ES continuing. So the strength from this morning, Sean, is just continued going into the last couple of hours here. So I don't really have anything else that I have on watch other than CNC as well. But like I said, there was an unusual amount of news during the midday. I don't know if you heard or saw XRP had some specific news as well. That was really interesting. Something about something about bank news.
Okay, XRP right now, XRP $2.25, so maybe it's pulled back. It's only up 2%. All right, Sharif's sitting there. Look, the fact that we might not have nothing to talk about is a good thing because we're about to go through the rundown. Right, we have lots to talk about, but let's go find out what you guys wanted us to talk about. It's time for the rundown. Sharif, give us the first one.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Obi in for Neil, the big boys. They're locked and they're loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But make sure to join Joseph and I on the midday show because that's the only way to get the tickers up there. Super easy to vote now, guys. You throw in that $sign. And then your 3, 4, or 5-letter ticker automatically registers. Shout out to Fabian. Here's a look at all 4 major averages, and they're all in green territory except for one. Bottom right of your screen there, the Dow marginally down 0.13, but the Dow has been the outperformer on the week. So the NQ up here about 0.63 with the ES up 0.31, and the Russell 2000, the IWM over here, leading the pack, boys, up 1.1%. Good look for these small caps. The first ticker, as decided by you, one guy at the desk there knows very, very well. Big Bear AI, yet another good day for Big Bear AI as it tries to clear that $8 area, up 7.5 at the moment, up 12.33% on the day. No real news again, guys, but it didn't really need it. It already has that catalyst. They're looking at getting into airports, guys, using their advanced AI software to screen passengers, and the market likes it.
Yeah, no, this one's definitely an interesting one. I know you've been involved in it pretty much all day. A bit of a multi-day runner, right? We saw it kind of curl up and start to be in the news a little bit more as of the past couple of months, and really starting to accelerate. What I really like here, this is a 3-hour chart. Almost at 3 minute. I'm like, oh boy. No, 3-hour chart here, all the way from I guess March, April, May. You can see stepped up, and then finally getting that increase in that volatility and expansion of volume, as well as we push higher and higher. And yeah, definitely, we were talking about this last week. This is a name that has the ability to run it. We've shown us in the past. And yeah, when that bid finally does dissipate, some beautiful backside as well. But as of right now, still very much stair-stepping and continuing on the front side of the move. And we know somebody who's very involved with this name. Who might that be?
My friend, I mean, that one friend of mine that I have. Apparently, this guy, like I was saying, he's loving life right now. No, we're in Big Bear AI. You guys, So just for today's trade, forget about the long-term talk. I mean, I can give you the bull thesis again. I mean, you want to talk about a bull thesis. You guys know that we talked about Webull. Is that on the board? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, we'll talk about this later. We're long 11. I'm almost prouder of this than I am of Big Bear AI. But anyways, Big Bear there. Today's trade was kind of easy. It was brought to you by yesterday's levels, so thank you for that. I guess I can't get it on a 1-minute chart. Here we go. Just do it like this. There it was right there, just breaking right there. Okay, just hearing in our ear that they are still expecting a number of deals to be announced at some point next week, so okay. Yeah, so $7.20 right there, that break. That's what we were waiting for. We talked about yesterday that we could fade off of that. That's exactly what happened, and then today all of a sudden, it wasn't really on my radar because we opened up down here, it'll be like 640, 650, yep. And then I was like, you know what, I don't know, like maybe we do come back into this area, but instead I decided to take basically its biggest move out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, we've had some big moves before, like that's a good one right here, but this is a big one. This is 640 all the way up to basically 780 in a straight line. So what did we do? We just played that same trade that we wanted to, man. It broke that 725, we got long. We're long at 728, we rode it all the way to the upside 780. Now I have less than 10% left, which I understand is not that much, but waiting to see if there was some actionable trades. Looks like it wants to hold through VWAP. The problem is, my experiences with a lot of these names as they get going on throughout the afternoon is there's fade. And it's like, I've already gotten out. So I got out at 765 in the midday on my own personal account. So now I'm still holding about 80%. I got 10% out the other day at 685 down here. And then we got out another piece at 665 on the midday. And it had nothing to really do with the levels. I just kind of offered. I saw that this was here. So I offered 665. We got out right in and around here. And that's another 10% out for BBAI. And again, remember, this short float is 32%. And they're just a straight AI play. They're not making any money. So caution on that as well. But for Big Bear AI, you just run right into this level again. This is why we got out at 685. You see this stuff right here? I was thinking that was going to be a top. We opened up higher than that. We let it settle down. We get out right there. That's 685. Then we get out right here again. Goes up to $8. That's to the high of the day. So if I'm going to say where are we going from here, we'd look at almost nothing up here except for the high. 950, 10. Like, to me, that's that next area. There hasn't been any news. It's doing what it's doing right now. So I would say if we do get a story, someone initiates coverage, someone upgrades this stock, I don't know, their quarter comes out, their quarter's not till late August. If that's actually turns a profit, then I think Big Bear AI is one of those sort of sleeping giants. I don't want to get out of anything else, man. I look back at a name like a Palantir and think to myself, why, oh, why? And what did we get any out? In fact, we bought more just recently at 131. So I don't know. I'm excited for Big Bear AI. I think it's the future for this AI company should be good. They're already signing deals, and let's just see what winds up happening. I don't want to be holding the bag on this like I am the marijuana stock, so we'll just stay with these ones. You can't really roll this up and smoke it. I mean, it's an AI company, so we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. But yeah, for me, Big Bear AI, again, a nice stock. I like to trade it, and it's been pretty good for us so far. It's been a great day trade as well. It's been good. I know Sharif was on it too, so yeah, lots of volume, lots of liquidity. We like Big Bear AI.
All right, Hood, good look today for Robinhood. Another 6.7%. Guys, it momentarily breached that $100 area, and that's where Mizuho wants to see it, about $99 price target. They're maintaining their outperform rating. They do have a headline from earlier in the week. They did announce that they're going to tokenize a lot of these U.S. equities out in Europe to be traded and bought on the blockchain. We'll have to see how that all rolls out. I want to let you guys know that they're going to report July 30th of this year, so just under 28 days now, boys.
Exactly. We were just talking, thanks right there about Robinhood there, yeah, breaking through $100. We were just talking about sometimes when you get that feeling that you should sell might be a time when you should buy more.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the same feeling, other people may be getting that same feeling as well. So when you push a certain level, might be time, right? I mean, and I feel like that's what happened to me on Robinhood, but the other way around. Like $100, I'm thinking it's time to go, you know, but we've already come from 90 today. So by the time we got up there, you were already up quite nicely there on Robinhood, and maybe it was not a time to buy, but instead a time to fade. So I think that right there on Robinhood, what a success story this has been, man. The tokenization, everything. Okay, well, I'm long Robinhood right now, so I was just going to talk about that coming through, and I was going to say I'm going to try to get long if this comes in into VWAP. We just had a whoopsie-daisy kind of a move right there. Okay, nothing. Somebody just hearing something about news in my ear, but it has nothing to do with this. That just dropped from 98.50 down to 98 right there, so we did get ourselves long. My stop is underneath this $98. So what I was going to say about Robinhood before we got into it was I was trying to get long ahead of this VWAP. That's where my stopping spot is right there, 97. Oh, I have the wrong view. I have 97. I put 97.80 break, but we'll still stick with that's 97.70. So if we break below that, I think it's worth stepping out of that trade. But right now we're in the money. We just took that long right in front of you guys. It's a nice move. It's starting to head back upside. I feel like just because we just took this, might be time to get a little bit out. That was a nice drop off right there for Robinhood. So here it goes, right back up into the 40s. Almost like there's news again on this. This stock has been moving like wildfire. I'm going to offer out, get some out at 39, wait at 45. But right now, this is where we're long on. There we go. We get that out. Go Robinhood. See if we can get back up there through that $100 mark. We're long Hood right now. We've had some great trades on this stock ahead of VWAP. It's up on the day. It's been really strong. And we've kind of held these levels. So let's go. Let's see if we got something going on right now. I think we do. It's Robinhood. I'm long. I'm waiting for VWAP.
Yeah, no, I think I like it as well. And again, I kind of forgot what this anchored is off of, but again, it probably some sort of event that dropped us down and brought us right back up. And again, Robinhood's been doing the thing for about a few days back-to-backs here. You can see that relative volume, multi-days, a little bit dissipating as of right now, but we got that action in the morning that gave us that prior day high, but we've held that prior day high or above that pretty well for about over three to 4 hours now, finally catching a little bit of a break. But you can see as soon as we drop that, buying coming right back into this range, so looking pretty interesting. Again, a multi-day runner on this one, and bigger picture, yeah, it's been running for quite a while here. So weekly chart, we looked at this just yesterday and we were like, okay, well look, it's on the way to breaking out, and the weekly just continues even higher, finally trading above 100 today. So exciting stuff for Robinhood holders. Finally getting above $100 level on the day today. Currently trading 98, so let's see if this buying is done for now. But the way it's holding up, this consolidation, Sean, in the upper quartile of that morning push, I think that's pretty interesting to me for sure.
All right, how topical is this? This is big news out of Vietnam. This is VinFast right here, Nasdaq symbol VFS, has just opened its second EV factory in Ha Tinh, built under 7 months. In under 7 months, the 360,000 square meter plant will produce up to 200,000 vehicles a year. It'll focus on compact EVs like the VF3 mini SUV and the Mini Green, designed for transport services. With automation from ABB, Siemens, and others, this marks a major step as VinFast pushes to double deliveries by 2025. stay tuned. Isn't that amazing that you can build? Thank you to VinFast for again sponsoring this segment. That's crazy. In under 7 months, a 360,000 square meter factory plant up and running, planning on producing over 200,000 vehicles a day. Go check out symbol VFS. That's VinFast. We want to thank them for sponsoring this part of the show. Okay, that's Robinhood a little bit there. Let's go over and see what Sharif has to tell us about Nvidia.
There's no catalyst today, Sean. There was a Marvell catalyst as well as a Taiwan Semi. Nothing today on Nvidia. Doesn't matter though, it's up 2.33%. Kind of an interesting looking double bottom pattern here that formed between yesterday and today, boys. Nvidia, yet another strong day as it closes in on that $160 mark. And don't forget, possibly $4 trillion market cap soon.
I was like, oh, there's good news about Marvell. And it's like, no, Marvell got crushed. I don't know what's going on there with Marvell today. I'm going to find out this story. Must have missed that right there on Marvell. I don't even know what that story is. But, okay, hold on, I got to plug in my headset there. You want to take off and you want to take a look at it?
Yeah, sure. I think Nvidia looking kind of similar, well, very similar here to the futures. Kind of that aggressive push in the morning session, holding up in the midday, and now coming into the end of the day session, still trading within that upper quartile of price action. A little bit of a double topping action here, 157.60 highs, but again, making higher highs and higher lows relatively off of the open and reclaiming some of these prior days levels as well. Again, no idea what it's going to do, but I like that it's holding up pretty nicely here. But again, I'll be honest, I'm looking for a potential break of the bid, and if it's going to stick around and stay strong like this, then I probably don't want to stay too heavy on this one here. But a lot of opportunity off of the open and maybe in the midday as well. A bit of a chop. You can see pretty much sideways chop for the past hour and a half or 2 hours roughly on Nvidia. Very same story to that of the market here in the future.
All right, yeah, we're liking some Nvidia. Today, my trade was AMD. So AMD today, a good trade. We were going short until we weren't, and there's the fall down right there on AMD early, and there's a rip higher right there for advanced micro devices. So right now, a nice move there for AMD. But if you want to talk about Nvidia, I mean, we just heard a good analysis there from Obi. But yeah, look, this is a great break candidate here for this afternoon. I see in the chat, it's like, I selected play it safe, but if you're all gas, no brakes, I mean, this rate here, 157.50, I think that's rev your engines, man. I mean, the high of the year, or all-time highs, I guess, which would also be 52-week highs, right now for Nvidia is 158.70. So that break right there, you'd still have $1 to get back up to those highs, so we're not really too fearful of the all-time high. That's $1 from there. So if it breaks that, we'll definitely take $1 here at the end of the day. You're above the I guess you're not above the 200 period, but you're kind of hanging out there. It's a sloping down 50, which bothers me. Potentially, now that I look at this a little more carefully here, it does look like we have that sort of downward trend where we have, that's the high, then we have a lower high, lower high, lower high. So we are kind of going this way. So maybe I'm going to take this back a little bit here, and we might have to wait to see what's going on with Nvidia. It may pull back into VWAP right now, especially with this market. I don't think the market's feeling heavy or anything, but don't really have a good feel yet for this. I'm kind of just getting back into the swing of things here as we go through some of these names. But yeah, 156.70 right here for Nvidia. Look, I mean, we like the stock. I think anybody that sold it over the last couple weeks there in some of this movement to the downside, I don't know, you get that pop. To me, this looks great here, a 145 or so area for a hold there. Doesn't seem to be affected too much by any of these trade wars right now with Vietnam or anything that was announced today. So I really like this name, just kind of like how we bought Robinhood off VWAP. I think we would do the same thing here for Nvidia. So yeah, Nvidia off VWAP's a buy for me.
Tesla, guys, the hotly anticipated quarterly reports for deliveries came out this morning at around 9. And look, it really depended on which estimates you were looking at. I saw some in the 390s. I saw some in the low 80s. They printed 384, 122 vehicles that were delivered. They did produce 410,244 vehicles. We're moving up on that number to the tune of 5%. But as I was telling you boys in the morning, Kalshi, the betting markets anyway, were predicting that we would substantially miss the estimates down into 360 some odd thousand, guys.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, it was a big surprise there early this morning.
Yeah, again, we talked about them kind of like missing on something, and the only thing that they really kind of beat on was I think it was production for threes and Ys, and I guess a really strong sentiment on that 300 hold on the lows in the pre-market. That was very interesting because again, yesterday we got a little bit of that 300 hold roughly in that area as well. Nice little consolidation and that little drip drop off of open coming in and holding that 304 pretty well for that reversion. But you can see we reclaimed that anchored VWAP right here off of the deliveries in the morning. The short was pretty nice as well. Once that strong reaction candle started to revert, that brought us down quite nicely. 322.60s highs on that reaction of that reaction, bringing us all the way down to 304 is absolutely beautiful. But after reclaiming that VWAP, it seems like we're just slowly kind of grinding back up to the upside as of right now. So one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, for me on Tesla right now, you know, we saw that up and down move. I mean, you know, there it goes on a miss on deliveries, but a beat on the production side of things. So as it comes back in right there, we are getting a test of the 200 period. What a great trade that would have been. But again, looking back, it's easy. It's looking forward is what the trade is right there. What about just a break higher, man? We're above VWAP, above the 200, above the 50, and a break. I'm going long. I'm going to go long on a break of 317. I mean, this is all gas right here. I think it should work. The closing price of a couple days ago, 315 and change. So I think there's something there as well. Potential hold area for 315. So if we go long on this break, why not try right into there, 317 in change. You know, you have a good protection spot here with your 50-period moving average. It's a nice bump up. The market, again, half day tomorrow. We'll see where this name wants to open up. But if the market really liked it, then let's buy it. You know, you had a good dip buy opportunity right there, missed, obviously, as we had said. And now, look, it's the same 200-period moving average, right? So I think we can use this right now. It's been holding all day. It hasn't broke it once. So if it's going to break it against us, I mean, fine. That's what trading is all about. Take the shot. I think down here at 315 is a buy here for Tesla. And in fact, I want to put the bid right here to break through 317. So I think if we can take out 317 today, then I would say highs are in play again. So for me, that's what we're going to be doing. I'd like to see the futures actually do something this afternoon. And if that can happen, then even better. But 317 break on Tesla, I'd say go for it. I'm going to.
Bull with a fantastic day, guys. Up another 10 2/3. Didn't do much yesterday, but look at the day prior to that. Up and to the right we go. So we started off the week at about 11 bucks. Now we're knocking on the door of 14. On the back of this news, their re-entry into crypto, offering that to their clients as well, guys, as a four-way into the Brazilian market. Shout out to Assassino.
All right, so I don't know, man. Again, this is a trade that Neil's going to be happy when we get back as well. Tina Capital upgraded this a couple weeks ago, man. We bought this thing at $11. We had to go through it a little bit. Like it did go against us. It didn't go much against us, but I think we had bought it probably in and around here or so. It popped up. We've had this kind of move before down to up to 1180. Then there's the fall in. We did not reload, and now it's off to the races. So there goes Webull, man. Finally, we've been talking about this with Brian Shannon. We've been talking about this with everybody that I've been able to. I like the stock. We've seen some beat up names like Palantir during its initial phases, and SoFi, and basically everybody during their first sort of go around get hit. And that's par for the course. So Webull right now, we wait for that first quarter, the second quarter to come through. And yeah, again, more markets, more money, right? I mean, that's simple. We saw it work for Robinhood. The minute that they started to get more and more accounts under management, you know, the street started to respect that more. So we'll see if Webull can throw up some good trading numbers. Obviously, with crypto being in play as well. I don't think we have Webull here in Canada. I don't know if they're associated with Wealthsimple or anything like that, but for me, I don't know too much about it other than the fact that we've seen Robinhood go. We know SoFi, Chime, all of these kind of new fintech names. Webull, to me, just looked prime, and we have it. We're long at $11. I ain't selling anything of this name. It's actually in my long-term account, not in my swing account. I went to go in to get some out today, but it's in my RRSP account, so I'm not. That's tax deferred. Yeah. I think it's going to be a winner for a very, very long time. But if I did have some in, I probably would think about getting something out around $14. Right now, I don't know about this name for a day trade, but it's done 20 million shares. That's I think that's close to, if not already over its average daily volume. So Webull, again, up 11%. Looks like it wants to go. I'm a fan of this play. And I hope that some of you are on this, man. We've been making some calls with Marvell, Uber, BBA, something called BBAI, all that kind of stuff. So it's been working out pretty well for us lately, and we're pretty proud of some of those calls. And Webull is just one of those other ones right there right now, Tesla 316.
Yeah, I think, again, a bit of a miss for me on my part, because with the action that it had on Monday, it was on my scanner on Tuesday, but you can see that this kind of a consolidation, the only way it might be showing up or still showing up on your scans last night is if you're scanning for relative volume, not necessarily for moves there, because it barely did anything, pretty much consolidated sideways for majority of the day. But if you still had it on your watch list for potential continuation because of how well we held that prior day high, guess what? Today coming in, we're breaking those prior highs again, coming into the middle of the day and continuing going into the end of the day. Current day high is at 1396, only about 2 pennies away from there. And oh boy, look at this trend, man. It didn't even spend time, spend that long on top of VWAP right here. So maybe on top of VWAP, giving us a little bit of a hold for the first hour and a half, and then just starts to accelerate and extend off of that VWAP as of right now. A bit of a multi-day move. And again, going back to a higher time frame on this one, we'll just start off with a 3-hour chart. So that should encapsulate pretty much everything that is available on this chart. You can see a nice little rounded bottom happening here on Webull, and 1425, some of those prior highs from, what is this, in June, May and June-ish, and then some highs after that coming in at 1880. So, oh boy, on that one there.
No, I'm getting a little bit sick to my stomach a little bit here, because look what just happens to Hood. It goes, we didn't get stopped out because we're a little underneath VWAP, but it goes right to VWAP and then spike right there with huge volume. Like, this is what I'm talking about when we talk about, like, trading with confidence, trading your own system. So we're getting more out here right now. I mean, I don't like the fact that it dipped down as low as it did there. So that part's kind of bothering me a little bit here. But all in all right now, I like this stock. I like this trade here for Robinhood, but we are getting some more out. I didn't like the fact that that went against me that way, and we almost got stopped out. So I'm now out of about half of the See how this thing's dancing around a little bit too much for me? I don't mind if a stock moves like crazy when there is kind of news, but 90, do you mind checking out the average daily volume? Because right now Robinhood is over 91 million shares. There's no way, like I've traded this name frequently, but not often enough. It just, the way these levels disappear.
42.5.
42, so yeah, so right there. So we're over double right now the average daily volume on Robinhood. There's just a lot of action here, and I think whenever I see something like that, yo, what's up, Randy?
Yo. What's going on, Randy?
I had a question for you. What's the big guy's name? Peter. Everyone's name's Peter around here. Okay. So we did have a super chat. Is Peter around right now? We did have a super chat right now. So.
Nice.
Oh gosh, damn.
Oh, I like that. That's really cool. Kind of.
Randy, I need you to find me Peter. If you get a chance, come over to the screen right now. Can you ask one of the contractors behind us, it says David, will Meta close green or red on the day? So I'm not sure Peter is familiar with Meta, but he will definitely answer, or is Russell, or anybody around. We're going to get someone to answer that question. You want to know for $10? Well, one of these guys wants to think about Meta. That's all good, man. We are all over that. So thank you for that, David. As soon as we find him, we're gonna get that answer for you right now. So thank you for that. And then the other one here is good look on Ford. Yeah, what's up with Ford? I saw Ford today. I thought it was up like 4% or something.
Ford, it's I think GM might be doing something similar.
SPCE looks great. Yeah. Okay. We'll look at both those. Go ahead. Keep going.
GM ran yesterday, right? I was looking at Ford and I was like, oh boy.
GM was the break. We had, we'll go over to it there in a second. Yeah. We did have Brian Shannon also liked the breakout. I just want to show you before we go over there because it's not, we want to go over and see what Adair has to say about Ford and GM. But yesterday there on the daily, there's the breakout right there from, and we got this information obviously from looking at it, but also Brian Shannon there yesterday had talked about how he was trading GM. He liked the breakout there, holding right there 49, holding 47. And then right now, here goes Ford again with a move. Wow, okay, good. 1170, nice move up there for Ford. All right, Adara, she's got the story, so let's go find out exactly what's up with it.
Moving yesterday, I'll pull up Ford and GM for you guys. Here's Ford, both of them reporting June sales. I guess they were pretty well received. This is a second-day catalyst to my understanding. There's nothing new on either of these, but lots of excitement over these June sales numbers. We know that some of these traditional, I guess, old-school classic automakers have been a little bit beat down as of late, so nice little pop here for GM and Ford again. Seems like it's just these numbers that we had here for June sales. It's also worth noting, I'm just seeing this headline, unclear if this is brand new, but interesting nonetheless. Meta, I know was discussed there on the rundown. Wired reporting that an AI employee at Meta, which we know has been really reshaping its AI game, will be making a base salary of $100 million with bonuses of up to $300 million a year. Again, that's just a report from Wired, but I thought pretty interesting stuff. I saw this pop through and I thought worth sharing. Back to you.
Oh boy. I think that's true, honestly. Like, what are these guys, professional athletes? Like $100 million.
Sector, yeah.
Do you know what Shai's going to make there? Gilgeous Alexander, you don't even know what sport I'm talking about, but he's a basketball player. But anyways, he's about to sign $71 million per season.
You know what? I actually like
seasons.
This. I actually like this because you know what? It's just been a thing that you know, these people are kind of on the bleeding edge of AI development, right? Yeah. So in essence, they are the athletes of their field. They're the top of the top, and it makes sense that they get paid as a result of it because you're actually playing a part in advancing human technology and in other things.
My problem is with
take
the
$100
base,
million.
My problem is with the base salary.
Yeah.
There's just there's nothing, and look, like obviously I'm a capitalist, but there's nothing in this world that's like that's pretty. What are you gonna like? Your salary is $100 million. Like I just think that's insane. Like this man should be donating $50 million to charity, which I'm sure he does. You know, give the guy $50 million, give 50 back to people that actually need it, and whatever. I mean, it has nothing to do neither here nor there. That's more of a social comment. But at the end of the day, that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. Right
there. That's salary. So what is he going to sign for 5 years, make $500 million? I don't have a problem if you get your money like Elon Musk, right? Why is he worth so much?
Well, it's because his companies are valued.
Exactly.
His valuation.
Capital markets.
SpaceX,
I don't have a problem.
Forget about Tesla. SpaceX.
Right.
That's huge.
Right. No, but all of his wealth is in shares.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I'm trying to get over. So
that's real.
I'm just trying to say if they're trying to create a new Meta AI company or whatever they're trying to do there, you know, let's put our money where our mouth is. Not only is this guy going to make $100 million, but Adara just mentioned $300 million in bonuses, you know, attached.
Honestly, to be honest, dude, like it makes more sense to me than playing a basketball or giving a basketball player, you know, $10 million or $100 million for whatever contract to just entertain the people over time. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, you're really good at what you do. That's amazing. But I do think that some of these athletes' paychecks are definitely inflated. But here's the thing: it's supply demand, right? It's just supply and demand.
Someone makes the money, right? The owners make the money. I mean, I don't have a problem with them giving it back to the players. I don't have. Exactly. Mark Zuckerberg has all this money; he can do whatever he wants with it. I feel like we're getting a little carried away. But
I know.
Anyways. Maybe I'm just jealous, which probably is what it is. But 900.
It's only money. Come on, it's only money.
Yeah, it is only money. It is only money. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so here's Meta right now, down 0.6. Had a nice little topping tail there, or topping action, not really a tail. 4 or 5 times here this morning, we hit 720, and each time we kind of faded off of that, right? And so, yeah, I'm not sure what Meta's going to do here moving forward. The rest of the day. I'm waiting to get Peter back there to come over here, and I can ask him what he thinks on Meta, but because David asked that question. But I'll ask you, Obi, if you were to take a position right now in Meta, would you be leaning short or long?
Oof, I don't know. It's just in a range. So it's just like, if it's been in a range all day. So the first question I ask is, what's the likelihood of it staying in that range? I think it's pretty decent in my books.
You're short everything right now.
But if it cracks that range low, I think I would like that, right? It's been kind of trickling down to the lows. The market's kind of at its highs. As I say that, the ES makes some fresh highs, so I know absolutely nothing. So I'm looking at the ES right here, clipping up into some fresh highs, finally doing it. We kind of talked about how the ES was lagging behind when the Nasdaq was up here. The ES kind of just chopping around. The Nasdaq was up here, breaking its overnight session highs, or some of the structure from overnight session. You can see that ES was definitely lagging behind a little bit there. So again, finally following through, finally coming into fruition is that ES breaking this morning session high there. I guess wins that from about 3 a.m. in the morning, roughly. And look at that, nice little teleport to the upside happening right now. So I don't know how long these shorts are going to work that I'm in. If the ES is going to blast like that, but again, more than willing to be a little bit wrong on some of those. And I think people in the chat were talking about look at SMCI. Let's take a quick look at SMCI then. I think it's going to be looking very similar to some of these other chip names here. Yeah, near their highs right here. So nice grinding bid coming up into some prior levels. That's interesting. I don't know what the news on SMCI yesterday was. I think I might have remembered it a little earlier. But again, a little bit of a flush coming into the close. We're getting right back to those levels as of right now. So there's that look on SMCI. Good catch there. No idea if we're going to see some more of that same sentiment of selling going into the close. It seems like just buyers have been slowly and steadily just stepping it up alongside with the rest of the market here on SMCI. So good look pointing it out, but looking very similar to a lot of chip names as well. And not even a lot of chip names. You got Apple, right? Apple was almost near highs. You got Alphabet near highs as well. You got Tesla near highs as well. So it's something to watch out for sure.
Yeah, no, and again, thank you so much for the super chats and all the questions that you guys continue to ask Obi and myself there in the chat. So, okay, we're reloaded. We have a key for that right there. We've seen this happen before. It's happening again. There's the bid on Robinhood. It does not punch through again, VWAP. So your boy goes long, and now we're long at 11s, and it's at 28. So I just got another piece out right there as we bumped up into. I offered 25s. I'm also offering at 28 now that I just saw it stop there. So let's see what Robinhood really wants to do now. I'm hoping that it wants to blast. There you go. Get through that MEMX right now. See, so someone's got it. There it goes. There you go. That's me. That's me. I'm holding that level. Bye-bye. See you later. Let's go. That's another one right now as we're just face slapping everywhere right now. Let's see if we can get back there to the upside. I'm waiting at 37s right now, just at this top level right there. Sorry, that's 47. I should be at 47, but I'm going to keep it there at 37. And then we'll wait to see what happens there, breaking through the 50-period moving average. But it's Robinhood, and we're up there. Props up to anybody there. That's long Robinhood. A big shout out to my guy Joe, who's not here. So shout out Joe. I hope you're well as well. Oh, Peter, how are you doing? I have a question from the audience. Do you think that Meta, which is Facebook stock, is going to be going up or down for the rest of the day? Yeah, it doesn't matter. What do you think? How about this? Green or red? Pick a color. Green. Hey, there we go. All right, he goes green. He's green. Where are you going? Let's go. All right, there it is, man. Peter.
Hop out of my shorts right.
All right, so guys, buy everything right now. No financial advice, Peter. Don't worry. You're only responsible for everything now. So there we go. But thank you so much. That was really fun. Ramin, we should get that maybe on camera as well. But there we go. Peter goes green there on Meta. So let me see what's going on. So that call was made. Look at what? Instant spike up.
Oh boy.
So Meta just went up 75 cents there, Peter. So I don't know, man. There goes Meta. A nice one right there. So there's the super chat coming in. So thank you right there for that kind of a. I should have asked him about Robinhood. Got that one going as well. But there we go. Having a little bit of fun here, as always, on the show. So thank you, David, for that, man. We're trying to create some content, and that was pretty good right there. So thank you so much. Look, man, we're trading, we're talking. We've got a crazy Instagram right now. I mean, that's so much fun over there on Insta. Go find us.
I'm loving some of those new posts. So you guys definitely have to go.
I actually haven't seen any today yet. I've just
that one the one that you posted.
Oh, the one that I posted. Yeah. Look, this is I'm never ever. This is always going to be
your favorite
as one of my tabs.
Okay.
Forever,
Yeah,
always.
forever, always, yeah.
Part of the mood that I'm in today is just how
double watch.
good this is.
Yeah.
The double watch, that's my
The
watch. I
attention to
have
detail.
that. Like today we're wearing Breitling because, you know, that's what it is. But right there, we have, I have that. I'm going to wear that tomorrow. That's hilarious. And then this guy, like, it's too much. It's too much. Oh, man, but that is a cute-ass baby, man. Me and Neil, just cute babies. O'Leary, cute. Fashionista, the cockroach part. It's just like, and as a baby, I'm like, well, going to hell. That seems like, it's just great. So
awesome.
thank you, Ramin, for that, man. That really, that put a smile on my eye, on my face. And I can't even speak now properly how much we like that. Okay, so back to trading here quickly.
Yes, let's get back. Oh boy.
Go look for it, man. I mean, I am pumping that short.
I gotta start a Trader TV OB account here. I gotta get involved.
I'm not sure why you haven't, my guy. Yeah. Anyways, right now, basically, we have two Instagram accounts. Myself and the show. Neil has a small one, but I don't think he's really on it too much. So, okay.
All right.
Oracle and OpenAI. I just heard something. Where's Adara? I just heard something about Oracle and OpenAI. Oracle gapping higher right now. I think we might be early to this story. Again, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there goes Oracle. We've seen these moves before. Your boy's going to punch long on this right now just to see what happens. If we break, this is very small. If we break through 225, I'm going to get out. Here goes Oracle. We brought this news to you, Sharif, and there it is, man. As fast as you like, to take a word from Sharif there, as quick as you like, Oracle goes straight up to the upside. So let's see right now what this story is exactly. We were 70 cents in the money. We didn't get out. Now we wait. Let's see what's going on right now with Oracle and OpenAI. A nice little bump up there. We got up to 227. Oh boy, Obi, that was a good trade. We're long at 225.70. We're long right now. If you like the trade, you could beat me right now and get into it. But here we go. I'm out very, very shortly if this thing takes 225. I don't really like being in news right away, although I'm in this one. That's why we're in it like a quarter of a unit. Nothing on this trade right now. Obviously, if it moons, it'll be fine. But right now, we're going to go to Adair and find out the story with Oracle and I think OpenAI.
So it's honestly, it's not super huge here. Basically, I'm seeing this report. Apparently, Oracle and OpenAI are reaching a deal for more Stargate projects in the U.S. That was that project announced alongside President Donald Trump back in January. We hadn't really heard anything about it since. Now, apparently, there will be more Stargate projects in a deal between OpenAI and Oracle. As you can see, ORCL already giving back most of that push to the upside, and back to you.
All right, I'm an idiot. I just lost. Look at Robinhood, though. Robinhood right now, like we have real shares on this one. I'm going to go back over. We just got our 67, so we're getting lighter and lighter now on Robinhood. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because we were going to get out the 50-period moving average. The 50-period moving average is now down, so we actually got out at the old 50-period moving average. All right, so just... It's tough because we don't, again, show our share size, but I told you we are in like a quarter of a position. So that is nothing right now. So we'll lose on that. We'll lose 75 cents. Like when I lose 75 cents on Amazon or Google or the TQs or Apple or something that you know that I'm in, and I'm telling you guys, I'm in 3 or 4 units, something like that, that's different. This was a news play. You saw what happened to us on Apple the other day. When that news came out, it went down and then blasted up through that 200 marker. So right there, I'm glad Adara sort of looked at that, thought it was a nothing burger, potentially a little bit of old news there, Starlink, so on and so forth. But there goes Oracle up and down one more time. But realistically, man, it's Robinhood is where I lay my head right now. This is going to be a good trade. This is the one that we just put on. You know, we talked about that. I mean, let me see what the chat is saying right here, right now, quickly. What's your afternoon vibe? So I said playing it safe, but I kind of feel like this is playing it safe. We're playing off VWAP. If VWAP breaks, we're out. We're taking profits on the way back up. Very, very comfortable with this kind of a trade. We just got 60 cents off a 98 bid. That's 60 cents. If it drops out, we're losing hopefully 25 cents, 35 cents. So our stop is 70s, although I can change that right now. I'm going to keep it at 70 right now. So our stop would be 30 cents or so on that one. So looking for a hero trade. We can, we'll look for some of those for you guys. But at the end of the day, I feel like tomorrow's a half day. Yeah. Any of the stocks you guys want to get into, fine. But I'm not super, super excited right now about the opportunities that lie ahead for the rest of the afternoon. But we'll find them, right? That's why I got excited about Oracle. We're going to go to Adara in 1 second. I just wanted to look at right here, Timothy. right here. So 6 back-to-back green trades this morning.
Hey-yo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for your next one.
Another one.
Another one. Go 7 for 7. Keep up the energy, Sean. No problem. Sending good vibes from Tijuana, Mexico. Let's go. You want to go to Tijuana?
Let's go. I'm down.
If I'm going to Tijuana, I'm going with Fabian.
Okay. How come?
Fabian. I think Fabian could put some damage on the grounds of Tijuana.
Oh, boy.
This guy over there.
Oh, boy.
Fabian, you like tequila? Of course he does.
Yeah, no.
There we go. You been to Mexico?
I don't think so.
Never been
yet.
to Mexico?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've just been to the, I've been a few times, Puerto Vallarta. I went there with my family when we were really young. We went to Cancun.
Been to the Caribbean.
Oh yeah, what spot?
St. Martin, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Saba. St. Martin's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, the islands are.
Some of those white sand beaches. Oh my God, unlike any others in the world.
Neil tells us that Antigua, this is Neil's number one go-to here, is that Antigua and has a beach for every day of the year.
Grenada as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says there's 365 pure, white, gorgeous beaches. So yeah, I would, it's not a retirement spot for me. I was actually discussing this earlier today. It's like, I think if I was to retire, I'd like to do it here, but up north or somewhere lakeish.
I'm going to go Banff. I'm retiring.
You're going to Banff. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a skier at all?
Snowboard.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've told me that before. Yeah, snowboarding. Okay, so there you go. But I think by the time I'm retiring, I don't think I'm going to be. I don't know if the knees will be able to snowboard very well. Oh no, it's fine to start. It's just yeah. I have one of my friends actually. They live in Dallas, and they're from here. He's a big skier, and he has the girls. I think they're like 4 or 5 maybe years old. He already has them going down little slopes. I think you could start even earlier than that for sure. But okay, throw to Adara.
To provide a little bit more context on this ORCL story, so in case you missed it, guys, Oracle actually announced that they've struck this deal with OpenAI to expand their existing Stargate AI infrastructure across multiple U.S. states, with OpenAI apparently trying to secure 4.5 gigawatts of power from Oracle-operated data centers. Now, potentially why this dropped is there's been a little bit of, for lack of a better term, snark, I guess, in the trading investing community over ORCL and some of their projections. They have been known, especially for putting these massive projections like years in advance. So they even said in this announcement with OpenAI that this deal is going to be part of their more than $30 billion in revenue contributed by cloud services into 2028. So again, it's like super, super forward thinking, this deal. And it also, I guess previously when they announced this more than $30 billion in their annual revenue starting in 2028, that contract they haven't even revealed yet. So ORCL, lots of, I guess, hand waving about the future without a ton of stuff to back it up, potentially why we got this little bit of a push to the downside. Just wanted to provide that context for ORCL and OpenAI. It's also unclear to what extent this expansion is different from the existing or pre-announced Stargate contract, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dara. So, got something for you guys. Beta Pro by Global X. Savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3X daily leveraged ETFs, featuring built-in FX hedging. This also aims to amplify short-term market moves, minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. That's interesting. Yeah, definitely go check them out and make sure you read those risk disclosures for sure. Market's taking a little bit of, I guess, just a chop here. When I'm like, okay, where is the next trade, and I'm looking around for a potential candidate, I'm just like, all right, well, let's just go see what some of the volume leaders on the day are doing. And there's some names on here that weren't there before. And I want to kind of maybe go through some of them. Of course, Big Bear AI, we're all kind of watching that one. Bit of a consolidation near the highs. Again, looking somewhat similar to that of the action here on the market. But this one was interesting. Mogo, M-O-G-O. This one was running in the pre-market here, pretty aggressive, all the way from $1, what is that, $1.23 is $1, whatever, $1.17 is the low. Let me see the exact reference low right there. $1.22 is when that bid kind of comes in. What is this, 8 a.m.? Yeah, 8 a.m., taking us all the way from $1 to $4, pulls back pretty decently for about a, I guess, a 40% pullback right there off of their highs, but holding this $2.40 level pretty well with a low, with a little bit of a wick low down at 232. So the question becomes, can this sustain? What is this going to do going into the rest of the week? Shortened week as well, right? So you got to remember, this thing has a float of 20.5 million shares. And guess what, Sean? Today, it's done about almost 260 million shares traded. So a little bit of a churn of that float going on as of right now on Mogo. We'll see where that goes tomorrow. Nvidia here still looking the same. Intel, that's a name, again, we had on watch in the morning. We were like, all right, it's doing some things. And guess what? Did some things for sure. Looking distinctly different than the rest of the market here, all the way to the downside right off of the open. So a little bit of a breather, and that relative volume coming in and picking it right back up, about over a 50% retracement of that action in the morning. And oh boy, Lucid, again, Lucid's on these volume leaders pretty much every day. Tesla with their deliveries, we've covered this one quite a lot today, but I think just looking back at it, some of the best opportunities I would say in the pre-market, if you had the long off of that the report, the deliveries report, and then the reversion as well, and then the reversion of the reversion once it does catch a bid in and around prior days highs there. So something to watch out for coming into tomorrow, because pretty much sideways action after that morning shake and bake a little bit there, but holding that VWAP pretty nicely. Held that 300 yesterday as well, holding it once again with a higher low this time, so stepping up. And again, Tesla, I like Tesla, man. Tesla, the stock is absolutely beautiful and a prime example of a stair-step squeeze, and I feel like it's doing or setting up for maybe a little bit more of the same. Ford, we've been talking about this one as well, a little bit aggressive on a multi-day runner here from yesterday, and then getting that beautiful continuation today. Definitely going to be one to watch out for tomorrow for myself, because I'm just looking for more of the same. Is it likely that it's going to do the same thing 3 days in a row? Probably not, but if I catch it slipping, it's probably gonna. I probably want to stay involved and get along with or get involved with that bid there. And again, Robinhood, we saw that 100 finally catching that push into 100. I know a lot of Robinhood holders have been looking for that 100 and taking a little bit of a pullback. So the question becomes, on a higher time frame, can we expect a little bit of a chop around 100? I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, if I see it, just respect it and kind of move from there. And SONN, we saw Sharif trading this name during the midday. Absolutely crazy runner right there. What's the float on this one? 3 million shares float. Currently traded almost over 88 million shares. So a lot of these small caps, man, have been going absolutely ham, absolutely crazy, doing multiples of their float. Now CNC, well, I was involved in a little bit of CNC. Where'd that CNC go? No idea. But yeah, I think I had the long off of here, and I saw the sellers kind of step right back in, and that's kind of like, that's not what I want to see. I want to see buyers kind of push it right back up. It is SSR. I want to see that SSR mechanic in action there, and I kind of stopped seeing some of that action. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get out of that one. Let me pull up that CNC chart right here.
It's power hour.
CNC. It is power hour right now. So closing candles, beware. And CNC trades on the NYSE. Yeah, I remember that because it took a little bit of a while to kind of come back out. So yeah, I tried the bounce here. I actually tried to punch short here, but again, SSR, I cannot remove liquidity on this one. And oh boy, kind of flushing all the way down. So beautiful continuation. We talked about anybody and everybody who was long since for the past, like I think it was like 10, 15 years or so, roughly speaking. Everybody out the money there. So anybody and everybody was that was long. maybe looking to sell off the open. We talk about certain types of participants, they can't really trade in the pre-market, or maybe they're looking for the opening liquidity to really push into. And I guess that is kind of what we saw off of the open. The SSR bounce potentially coming in. I did get involved in that, but this is the point that I'm talking about right here. It was a very, very clear. I actually added and pushed into this break through that 35. I'm looking for that VWAP. I'm looking for those buyers to come in and step in pretty hard, and did not see that as selling, kind of stepped right back in. So did punched out of that one, got a little lucky, as that was the local top there underneath VWAP before we just kind of crack low. Dead cat bounce on this one right here. So definitely not over for that. Again, I do want to point out here on the higher time frame what the weekly chart looks like, and then we can just confirm when was the last time we've seen some of these prices. There you go, 2017. I guess 2015 to 2017, so about roughly for 2 years, we chopped around some of these prices, and we haven't seen these prices in a very, very long time, John. So a lot of opportunity on the day. Not really seeing anything too crazy just now, but I am short the market. It looks like it's probably not going to work out, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it says, well, yeah. Oracle right now gone. So there goes Oracle, man. We nailed that one. Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Whoa, that was loud. Hello. Yeah, so we nailed that, but unfortunately we don't have it in our portfolio anymore because I'm just I'm booking a restaurant for my wife and I for next week.
Ooh, let's go. Where are you guys?
Date time. We're going to go to One in Yorkville.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what it is. Right now, so we're gonna do that next week. Kid free, right? Okay, so yeah, Oracle, nice little bounce to the high side right now. I just want to say that we took advantage of sort of the liquidity here on Robinhood and just some of that insanity that's been happening, and just getting out here. Look at it holding this 50-period moving average. So I got to get out, man. I mean, even where we are right now, let me put out another piece here at 18 if we can get it. But yeah, it looks like it is trying to. There we go. That's me at ARCA. Okay, we just got hit, so that's good. There we go. So we're just getting pieces out here as it continues to make these moves. The 50 period wants to hold it. Hopefully we can break higher there. So right now I only have a quarter left of this position. Next out, nowhere. I don't even have an offer. That's a lie. I have an offer at 60, then 80. So 60's there, then 80's up here, and then we ask the question, when moon right now, and hopefully soon moon. All right, so that's Robinhood, Oracle as well. We talked about that. My Tesla trade, that's still ready to go. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to hit. This was 317 break right now. With the market doing this, Tesla doing this, I'm not so sure I'm in love with that kind of a move right now. And boy, oh boy, did Peter behind us there nail Meta. Nice move there from the bottom. I mean, 713 up now, about a clean $1 from that kind of a call, making you and I look foolish over here, Obi, making that call. So it's a nice move right there back up to the upside. So yeah, oh yeah, by the way, like I said, oh yeah, all right. There goes Webull again. Huge move, up 12% today, continuously going. What a move there on Webull. You get that good news story, and it's not like you can rewind last week when this name was at 11, and I was telling you I'm long $11, waiting for news to come out because we saw what news does to Robinhood, SoFi. I mean, look, news can go either way, but positive news was pretty good there. And I did say that my next buy was going to be in the $8 to $9 range, so I wasn't like super convinced, or I would have loaded up down there at 11, but it's a nice move higher right now for Webull, being long at 11, now in the money about 25% or so. Might be worth taking something out. Nice volume there, more than average daily volume right now on Robinhood. All right, we take it for 5 seconds. I just got to confirm this order here.
Yeah, no worries. So the futures kind of come into the highs there, and I'm like, all right, well, my stop's sitting right there. Hop out of that one, and then it kind of wicking right back in, flushing as well, and then Google starts to go as well a little bit to the downside. I'm like, all right, well, that's okay. I just want to get right back in and see where that goes. Like I said, more than willing to take the hit a little bit there and just to see if things kind of work out. So that was a little bit of a wick of the consolidation highs on the Nasdaq that we've been kind of chopping and churning since, oh boy, 11 a.m. So we've been sideways here on top of this 22,800 all the way to 22,860. So only about $60 there above, or $60 worth of roughly a range there. Not even, because the wick is not even touching the 60 there. And now you can see a little bit of a flush coming in here on goggles. Let's see if that'll come into fruition. As of right now, got right back into the TQs as well. Again, some of these constituents sometimes are not going to move like the futures, and I think sometimes that's where potential opportunity can lie there. And if you see something that is distinctly different, I think it's definitely something to watch and keep an eye on here. And Nvidia taking a little bit of a curl as well, like I'm seeing. The question is, we only have about I guess 50 minutes. 55 minutes roughly for the rest of the day here, and I want to know whether or not we're gonna convincingly break this range, whether to the upside or to the downside. Like, give me some conviction here. You know what I mean? We're just chopping sideways for the past few hours. Now, again, it is technically a shortened week, maybe not a lot of players on the board. And that can definitely kind of give us some interesting iterations of price action as we're seeing here. So yeah, let's see if the TQs kind of continue to the upside here going into the last hour. I have no idea, but let me know in the chat, what are you guys trading? The SPY has been a beautiful long pretty much all morning. So has the Nasdaq as well. The constituents a little bit choppy. If you weren't involved in Nvidia or Google, or maybe even Apple, maybe you're not sitting just as pretty as some of those futures are as of right now. So let me know what you guys are trading. Yeah, exactly. Sports and stocks saying, see something, say something. That's what they play on the TTC.
Oh, do they? Yeah. Oh, that's right.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. If I see something, I'll say something. But as of right now, what do I see? I see nothing.
All right, so then don't say anything. All right, so yeah, for right now, thanks, Obi, for all of that. All right, so it's Webull time. We already talked about that. Google, let's look at Uber. Uber had a nice move up and down here today as well. You know, I'm not sure what the story, there might have not been any story. Uber, the thing about Uber is like, you know, again, it's just like we're up at these highs again. So we really like this stock. I mean, we are in a raging bull market, and we don't want to forget that necessarily. So right now, Uber, nice upside play here. But I did have a nice little drip down. Let's go find out from Madera what's up here.
Yeah, there was a story here on UBER. So basically, Move, which is a company actually based in Africa that's backed by Uber, is going to be raising $1.2 billion in debt to start a Waymo fleet. So again, Bloomberg reporting that a company that is backed by Uber is going to be raising $1.2 billion in debt for a Waymo fleet. That is the only story I saw on this today. Came out during the midday around 12:30 p.m. And back to you.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, interesting there. I don't know if that's you know, anything too crazy there for Uber. Uber's still up on the day, kind of floating around with the market. So yeah, again, like decent downside price, 91.80. I mean, I don't think we're going to get into that. Just looking over, I'm really hoping that Robinhood can start to go. Just a quick talk on Big Bear AI because we're in that name as well. Right now, I was just looking over at this name as well and thinking, okay, maybe time to get something out right here on Big Bear AI. I think I'll get filled almost immediately if I put a 56. Nope, not yet, not yet. Hopefully, as some of these prints go through, we'll get 56. I mean, we're just sitting here. Might have to run through us to get it, so we'll wait. But I think right now, being at the 200 period, moving out, there it is. We got it. So there it is. We get that out at 56 as it just runs right through us. And again, this is how we're doing stuff different. Like, I'm putting an order out, you know, getting filled, like talking to you guys about all these orders and what we're doing here. So, you know, just really proud of what we're able to show here live on the show, and this is just another one of those ideas here. Big Bear AI, we've had it all day, and we have it again right now. So we'll wait to see Big Bear AI, what's going on there, up 13 and a bit percentage points. Oscar Health, I almost pushed a button on this one as well. Like, this is another name that I like right here at these levels, Oscar. Down here, we had that CNC there, Centene today, all the way to the downside. You had a trade on that earlier. We were talking during the open about that name. But there comes Oscar. Nice move back in. Again, this name, decent sized short float on Oscar. But this always, I was already looking this up. They're 15%. So I like that for a potential move back in, trading lower after Barclays initiated coverage underweight already with a price target of $17. We've seen UNH and some of these other names come back in as well. So right there for Oscar, short float, we talked about that 15% float in general of 200 million shares, so not too much going on there. Their earnings planned for August 6th. Right there. So we'll see what they can come up with there. As their EPS last quarter, their EPS was a monster, man. 92 cents. So they go from no profitability, like losing. Something happened right here that they were able to make money, then lose. Huge beat. This is why I started to like the name again. You know, a big beat there on Oscar, finally turning some profits there on EPS level. So we're gonna have to wait to find out where this name wants to go. But I kind of like this name as a longer term play. Excuse me. I want to get into it. I was looking for their total market cap, $5 billion. Sleeping giant. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work, but you guys let me know. Let me know in the chat what you think of Oscar in there, and if I'm looking correctly, if there's something I don't know about this company. But again, with that kind of a short float right here and pulling back into the 200 period and already at its downgraded price, I think I like Oscar here, and I think that's worth a potential play there. So that's why I'm looking for OSCR. Let me know if you guys know anything about it. But yeah, it's Webull, man. And this, I just wish I had this in the swing account. But wow, it is Squeeze City right now on Webull, man. This name gone right now to the highest bidder, it seems like, as Webull just going upside there. And again, news on South America, right? So opened up, I guess it was not banking, but new clients, customers, new services offered there in South America. Nice move up there for Webull today as it's continuously going there. The Figma IPO, right? Great question. It's not in yet, right? Figma, you're not going to be able to see that. I think it's later on this month. It could be pricing. It better not be tomorrow. It's definitely. Adair and I heard it last night.
I doubt. Yeah.
She's going to look into it because that's one that I want to be involved with, because Adobe. They were interested in Figma a while ago, and it was determined that if they were to get this property, then it's too powerful for Adobe. They'd be too strong. And I think that's, I'm not sure when exactly that timing was. I almost feel like it was, I'm trying to look for a dramatic move in Adobe, because I don't think that they liked it initially. It might have been all the way back in, it wasn't 2022. It might have been in and around here, March. I'm going to find out, but they didn't like the deal. I know that. They were paying a lot of cash for them. I don't know if it was 20 billion or something for them at one. That's no problem. We'll go through this. And if you're not, this was pressed by accident. We can end it, right? Can't we? Here we go. There we go.
There
all right.
we go. Drop
I ended it. All right. What's up, Adara?
What's going on?
The Figma thing. So I know because I made this infographic recently for Adobe, I guess earnings related. So yes, 2022 was the year, Sean, where they announced plans to acquire Figma for $20 billion. At the end of 2023, this deal was called off because they kept having issues with the FTC, which actually later sued Adobe for unrelated reasons. But I do want to mention here as well with Figma, with this IPO, we have no timing. They filed for the IPO in the NYSE, and they do plan to do some acquisitions of their own. They're apparently planning on taking big swings with their acquisitions. The ticker for this is going to be FIG or FIG. And I want to mention as well, apparently they confidentially filed for an IPO going back to April 2025. So Figma's had this plan for a while. I don't have a date as to when it's going to happen, but just a little bit of context and clarification for FIG, future ticker. Back to you.
That was wild. When I first heard that, I was like, what, Ligma? That's not, you know.
That's just so funny because I nailed the date when we looked at that on the chart, and then I somehow remembered the 20 billion. But you watch when that thing comes to market, man, it'll be way more than 20 billion as stocks get very, very excited about, new issues, like Webull and so on and so forth. But Adobe, you just looked at me and said, wow, look at that growth. And I'm like, yeah, it's Adobe. Like some of these companies, man, you don't really need to second guess too much. They work, right? And, you want to look at a company that's working out right now. What about Nvidia right now? Okay, not much. I thought something else was going on there. Tesla maybe on a pullback. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat, man. It's been a good day so far here today. We're in really good moods. Various reasons, man. Family's doing well. We had a great time last night, man.
How was that? How was the fireworks?
Great. I was telling you before. I was like 5 to 7 minutes, so it wasn't super long. But we all got little ice cream. There was a McDonald's right there, so we just got the dollar cones, sat around, had that. It was a great time watching sort of the fireworks. We had some fun. We brought our dog, Belle, so that was pretty sweet. She had a great time. Some dogs freak out at fireworks,
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
we weren't sure. We back on to like a green belt at our house, so people are always popping off fireworks and all that stuff all the time there.
Yeah.
So we sort of felt that she would be comfortable there, and she was. So we did that, but it was really eye-opening, man, because basically it was at a park, Centennial Park, which is huge.
Right.
And we kind of parked off to the side and then, made our way in there. But we had a huge field and the mosquitoes were...
A lot of people there?
Yeah, decent amount of people, yeah. But so where the mosquitoes were, we had sprayed down, but I was like, I'm not... So we went back to sort of our spot there, and it was really comfortable, and we had a great time. So yeah, a lot of stuff happening there. And then plus now that it's summertime, it's like my kids are now like hanging out with like a lot of their friends. They're going over to some of the public pools and all that kind of stuff. I, don't have a pool at my place, but they're loving all that kind of stuff, and it's just been great. And I went golfing with my son, I went with my brother on Friday. Oh, we just went up to Humber Valley.
Okay.
Just a local course. Toronto has about 6 or so public courses. That's the biggest of them all, and it was really fun to play that. I went to I tweeted it out too. We went to the. Have you ever been to a golf simulator?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are lots of fun. So we went there as well, and he's working on his game. Both kids are gone next week. You see me booking reservations over here.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go. Had a meeting with the bank. That went surprisingly well as well today. So lots of stuff going on. Just got the notification that the car's charged in the basement now, so that's all good.
Nice.
Yeah, just a lot of good times happening now. And plus it's summertime, Blue Jays are winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids are having a great time. And yeah, it's been good. The only thing that hasn't been good is me selling out of that Oracle trade because there it goes right now. Nice upside play there on Oracle. That seems to continuously work there as well. And then we got to slap a fail. Not a fail for the trade. The Robinhood trade is legit. We made money on it. We talk about what the reason for the show's entertainment, the show's education. It's entertain, educate. There's one more there. I'll think about it in a minute. But that was sort of the motto that we had to begin with. Entertain, educate, enjoy. Elevate. Yeah, whatever. We'll go with that. It's not what it is, but it is something like that. But at the end of the day, we had talked yeah, it's not those. Leave it with me, Obi. I'll come up with whatever the hell it is at some point here.
Something pontificate?
Yes, that's definitely.
Is that the one?
No, but that's good enough. But it was noticing. Okay, let's get back on track here just for a second. It was just Obi noticing that we were holding this 50-period moving average, right? And once we had noticed that, we were able to get out, where we were only holding a quarter. Then we got a piece out there, and I think we probably had about 20% left. So when we wind up losing, we get out there, we lose our 30 cents on 20%. But making this, especially with the fact that we got a reload, making this a pretty good trade. So I just want to say, follow some of the rules. Make sure that you stick with whatever it is you're doing. Don't give up. You want educate. Oh, I'm gonna get it in a minute, but try something out for weeks, man. Don't try something out for days, right? Give.
You gotta give. Oh, hello.
Come on,
hello.
Alex.
What's happening there?
Come on, Alex. What are you doing over here? What is Alex Karp doing to this stock right now? Yeah, but all kidding aside, Palantir, nice little downside play there. I'm gonna cancel my Tesla trade. I don't think we're gonna get through any levels of 317 right now. No, so I'm gonna cancel this so I don't have to worry about it because in the back of my mind I was always watching that. So let's go over here and find out what's going on with Palantir. Market giving it up, great trading over there. I mean, I assume your TQs is probably pretty hot still. So good look there. Yeah, the Palantir, nice downside push coming back in. We have the news in our ear, not much going on, but look what's going on with crypto, man. Bitcoin continues to make waves there today. And look at this. 200 period moving average. Normally we'll say for it to do something. But today, man, IBIT's doing it all. It's giving you everything you need. It's giving you the VWAP hold right there. It's giving you the 200 period hold right now as we continue to climb higher. So IBIT working out. Look at what crypto's been doing today. Let's refresh this. So this is Cryptoverse. And I got in trouble by someone in the chat and said, Bitcoin's not crypto, but you're right. We are well aware that there are other things happening here. I like to look at the market cap. The biggest we've seen is 354 right now. There's Bitcoin 109, so definitely leading the way today out of a lot of the major names, but Bitcoin is the major. So you can see right there, almost like 8x right now what Ethereum is as far as the market cap, but Ethereum right there leading the way today, up 6.5%. Ripple, we talked about that, XRP. You mentioned that there was a story. Adara, what was the story on Ripple? There might have been one on XRP today. But there it is.
So Ripple's going to be basically, I guess, having their own, they're going to file here, I guess, for more traditional finance type plays, so kind of similar to what we're seeing. I'm going to find the exact headline, but that is basically what it is. Ripple seeking a U.S. banking license. So, again, one of many crypto companies to do so. That's all that happened. It got a nice little pop when that news came out. Again, Ripple seeking a U.S. banking license, XRP popping after that, though.
That's a huge buy.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think,
That's huge.
I think it was, this could squeeze. I will be.
I was dancing at my seat when I heard that news.
Is there anything else I could? Is there anything else I could buy other than XRP? Like, there's not an ETF or anything like that. So, because basically all of my money on chain is gone into Bitcoin right now. I have Cardano, Ripple already. But oops, I closed that. I want to buy more of that on that news. So we'll wait to see what's going on there with XRP. And if you just click on this, you can sort of see the trajectory of this, where it's been going. Let's go over the last 3 or so months. We did really hold that 210 area, I believe. Yeah, so 2 to 210. We're looking to break. I don't know how I get rid of this. That's annoying, so I can't. It's hard to see. But 240 looks like sort of a wall right here around 240. We'll see that 260. But I think that's great news, man. I mean, you know, it's one thing to file for it, but it's nice to know that they're thinking about it, they're talking about it, and they could get denied and this thing goes right back down. But I think when you're playing crypto and you're playing some of these names, and look, there's going to be, shout out to Nimit if you're watching, or shout out to a lot of you out there that definitely know a lot more about the space than I do. Maybe you have some insight if you're excited about Ripple, but I was just thinking, like, those are the stories that you want. We talked about what's the next catalyst, right? Yes. And I had said that Bitcoin at 109.5 right here is good when we look at that compared to the DXY, right? We talked about what's been going on with, here's that cash symbol again that I was looking at there. When you're sitting on cash, you got to figure out what to do with it, and why not put it into Ripple? But what I was looking at was the US dollar and the weakness there in the US dollar, right? I mean, look at this, just continuous downside trajectory there on the US dollar as, again, flight, you know, oil's been sort of doing what it's been doing there. And, you know, the reason why we're going down so much is that spending bill is just, that's a lot of money, you know, outward bound, you know. So, yeah, as we start to go there, we might have to dilute more. We'll see what the Fed is going to do about money supply. But, yeah, right now the dollar, this is the US dollar index, so it is getting absolutely crushed right now, which is not a great sign. So we'll see. Back down to 2022 levels here. I actually got out of I was holding something that wasn't CAD hedged, and that was not performing obviously as well as the CAD hedged. So I'm talking about Canadian dollar hedged to the US dollar. So just watch out now, because, you know, if you're holding this, and you can look at exchange rates, I don't know if does this have CAD USD on here? Yes, it does. Right there. Oh boy. TradingView has a lot of cool things here. Click on it, not working, click on it. Okay, so you can see right here, this is just a 1 day, but I don't know if this is CAD, USD CAD, all right, but anyways, here's the move back in, right? So you can see here, watching out for this. I'm gonna find a better quote than that, but the CAD USD right now, definitely in favor for us here in Canada, as the dollar's fallen just a little bit against the CAD as well. So yeah, man, Oracle just, look, I'm not embarrassed about this because we got stopped out where we wanted to. It broke through 225, but we had this on news and we should just not have left it. That was the, you know, that's a decision that we made that we probably should not have. We should have stayed strong there with Oracle. But, you know, when we got out there at 225, it's all about risk management. That went down and broke or came close enough to breaking 224. So that would have looked silly for me to hold a $2 loser or so, or at least a $1.80 loser against myself on news when we're not even quite sure how it's going to affect the stock. But there goes Oracle straight to the upside, breaking all-time highs right now on Oracle, breaks it right there on that news. So bye-bye Oracle, upside. What's up, A?
Keep an eye here in SPET. This is another crypto-related play that's been pretty strong. This one actually, yeah, just kind of pushing to the upside for most of the day. Yesterday, they announced an increase to their Ethereum treasury holdings. Earlier, like around when they first announced, they were one of the, I think, the largest publicly traded holder of Ethereum in terms of the amount of Ethereum they hold. Assume that's still the case because they keep getting more Ethereum. But yeah, SPET, it is worth noting as well, has SharpLink Gaming. They do have a pretty small float here, just over 600,000 shares. So SPET on watch today. Back to you.
So much stronger.
I know, I'm mad. I'm just saying how mad I am. Look how mad I am about not having Robinhood. I can still get out of it. It's not the end of the world, but I have it in the retirement account. So if I pull the money out, it's taxable. Right there. We have here in Canada, we have something called TFSA, tax-free savings account. Yep. You can drop, I don't even know what it's at. Whatever the government tells me I can throw into it, but I think it's like $7,000 a year or something like that now. It's been around for about 20 years. So I think you can get up to, how much?
Oh.
Am I hulking up right now?
Yeah.
Rip off my shirt?
Is that your secret is that you're always mad?
I like that. That was
really cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, we're doing so many cool things here right
Studio
now.
8.
I mean, it almost made me rip the shirt off. You saw that. I was going.
That's a true metamorphosis.
I was going for it there. You're about to see some screens getting thrown around here real quick. But I'm about to just go fix up all this stuff back.
I want to see that video. I remember one time you were, I think you were with Prad on the midday or something. Something happened with the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You were sitting right there. I remember.
Yeah.
And I was sitting over there, and I looked back, and I was like, "What is going on?" I want to find a clip of that. That was definitely.
No, it was the key. I couldn't push backspace or I couldn't push something.
That keyboard was
I'm
done.
like in position. I'm like I can't put the order out properly, and it was just like, and that's it. And I just basically hulked it out. And that keyboard no longer existed after that. But
sometimes when when you can't press the key, you got to try pressing the whole keyboard.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so you're right. We got rid of that. The more you know, maybe the more you don't know on that one. Okay, I think Oracle probably. Let's try to find again. Appreciate looking at the market here today, but honestly, right now this is pretty flat. If there are again any names that you guys have here, you know what? It's 3:27 for 10 minutes. Let's run the poll. All right, so here we go. I'm going to call this up right now. I'm going to show to everybody, just so you know. I'm going to go over here, stock voting game. I'm going to refresh this. 0 submissions. Let's start this right now. I'm going to go start poll. So right now, as soon as you guys start mentioning names, it will start to go. Am I supposed to hit OK here? Okay, so here we go. So now we're going to wait to see. They should start to add up here. I think I have to do I have to refresh this as well? Okay, so let's just refresh that. Now it's going to start, calculating all of these, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. So I don't know what happened here, but it's calculating in the background, and we're going to get so put it whatever you guys want. We'll talk about that. I'm going to look at that in 10 minutes at 3. Let's go 3:35. We'll look at that at 3:35. Therefore, we'll get a good handle on what you guys want to talk about and what we're looking for. So a popular name is always Tesla. Again, but look, what am I supposed to talk about right here? Not doing too much there for Tesla. We're trying to give you some more coverage on some of the stories today. Again, Elon Musk and Tesla with their delivery number was a little bit lighter earlier on in the day. So this happened. I don't know, lighter or not, we ripped to the upside there on a better than expected production number. So deliveries lighter, which I thought would matter. Production, they produced more vehicles than expected and delivered less. So that's a little funny why that move is happening here today for Tesla, but it is. So we want to address all the things that are happening. And Tesla right now doing that. Rivian, I was actually talking about this with Randy. Rivian on the downside today, not very impressed with Rivian trades today as they're trying to go to the downside here. Down 4%, kind of going oppo there. Rivian's report came today as well. Their deliveries were much lower. They delivered something like 5,700 vehicles when they were looking for 10,000 there on the demand side. So right now, Rivian looking to break. What about this trade? What about a break of the low of the day right there on Rivian? Can we go with that? I don't think that's horrible. What's 330? If the market's on a downside move, right? So you're in the TQ. Oh, you got out of the TQs? Okay. That was a profitable trade?
Yeah, that worked.
Okay, nice. So I just want to see if the market continues this move. What about this take right here, 1288? What does that look like? So it looks fine there. So we had a wick bottom to... That is 1288 all the way down there. Okay, we should maybe be short now. Let's just go short Rivian. I'm not... Big Bear AI starting to go back up. That's 33 cents. We're still in that one. That's the only one we have on. What about just shorting Rivian right now, right? I think that's decent. It's kind of like this little area right there. We can play off 290, 295. If we break above 13, all right, let's go short Rivian. Let's see if we can sit here and take something at 91s right there. Okay, we offered and got 91s almost immediately there. So BYX fills us. As you can see, there's no BYX there. I never want to wait in line, so I actually paid for that fill. So right there, we're now short 91. I'm going to see about this coming up to $13. If we break $13, it's the 200 period moving average, so I'm fine with that. If we break that, I'm cool with it. That's where we'll get out. So let's just see if Rivian right here. And again, I'm kind of getting into this. I know that there's some viewers maybe impatient. They want to see some trades. And I'm not doing it necessarily for that. We are breaking a little bit lower. We looked at Tesla. Reminded me of Rivian's numbers today. So let's trade the catalyst here with Rivian and let's go short. So that's what we're doing. We're short right now on Rivian. Let's see if we can get an out right here at that tested bottom already, which would be, oh, it's right here right now. All right, let's just put a bid at 88. Which I know doesn't seem that much, but we have a bigger position now on Rivian because of it's only a $12 stock. So if we could take right here the low, we'll do that right now. You may want to, if you're playing options, maybe 0-day options right here on. There we go. We get the fill on Rivian. I'm going to cancel. We only got part filled. That came too easy. Let's see if we get a move down. I mean, maybe take the 12.75 close. I don't know. I don't trade 0-day, but there it goes. We're now short Rivian, and it's not a face slapper, but. Let's do this. It's an idea. So here we go, man. We're short Rivian right now. We're long Big Bear AI. Let's see if we can print on both of these. I've already printed on Big Bear AI. We have less than 5% left. Rivian's obviously a newer position. So let's see where we go. Let's see if we can hold this, make a little bit of money on that down to the downside.
Yeah, Sean, that thing has definitely been a little bit of a printing machine here. So Google. I was a little short on Google. I kind of missed this entry here where it was a little bit, potentially a little bit better, but I was like, all right, I'm going to get back in on the lower high. We actually get a pretty decent flush down, 77.80s, holding pretty well. So I start piecing off lightly, and when I see that a bid come in just as aggressively, I'm like, all right, excuse me. I'm pretty much done with this one for now. Holding on to just a breadcrumb right now, maybe just risking to that prior high. You can see the market's kind of printing sideways here. Last 30-minute candle is just opened up, and I got out of the TQs as well. I was like, all right, well, if we're not gonna break any lower, this was the place. I think this was the place where I was already short pretty decently. Comes into the high, wicks the high by about 3 or 4 pennies, and then slams right back in. Not only that, I see Google start to turn, I see Nvidia start to turn, I see Amazon start to turn a little bit there, a little bit of weakness across the board. I'm like, all right, well, I see that right away. If you're gonna false break on me, I'm gonna come right back into that bid and start getting a little bit aggressive there. Again, arguably could have been a little bit more aggressive on the break of this, but you can see it just kind of settled right back in. So yeah, sure, it was a 20 penny scalp at most, but it worked pretty well off of that quick lick grab. But right now, it hasn't really gone anywhere. I was looking for it to come all the way back down into VWAP going into the end of the day, but is not really giving me what I'm looking for. So I'm like, all right, well, that's all I need to see to be like, all right, I'm kind of done with this idea for now. But yeah, Mark Golaski saying don't false break on OV. Yeah, I don't like getting sold to, and some of this price action was definitely sold to me, I would say. So I got right back into that one. That's the beautiful thing about being on a prop floor, right? Like low fees, direct market access. Like you can get in and out so many times. You can even get paid for getting in and out, regardless of whether you're winning on the trade or not. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. The level of nimbleness that you're able to achieve amongst the keys and in terms of like execution mechanics. But something that I have to do a little better at achieving is the nimbleness of the mind. Like the market access is there, the key is there, the keys are there, the execution set is there, but sometimes you got to be a little bit nimble with the mental just as well, and that way everything kind of confluences together, right? You're using your resources to the best of your abilities in that kind of scenario here. But with the market chopping around sideways, and we're getting that little bit of a green bar here on both the Nasdaq and the ES going into the last 30 minutes, I'm gonna pack my patience. I don't know how much is left for me here going into the end of the day. It is a holiday shortened week, right? So you're not really gonna see anything too crazy, but if you do see it, call it out. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we're a Big Bear AI now 760. That's starting to go back up to the upside just a little bit here. Let's just check out who's making all the money over here at Real Trading. And of course, Obi and I, you just talked about prop trading. Obi and I are sitting on a prop floor right here with Real Trading, and they have a trader information portal, which we're going to go look, compare your profits. So I'm going to show you in a couple minutes what's been going on. We saw that $89,000 real US dollar being made there on those imbalances on Friday when I was on the golf course, but that was okay. Let's go over to Adair, figure out what's going on, then we're going to come back and look at these profits.
A little bit of a pop here for INDA. This is the India shares ETF. So good look here for INDA. A reporter from Fox is saying that multiple sources are saying that the U.S. could get an announcement of a tariff deal with India as early as tomorrow. Today we had the Vietnam trade deal. Now apparently a source from Fox reporting that India could be the next one announced. It could be as early as July 3rd. Back to you.
Yeah, I heard that same story in my ear, and then you know what was followed by? It was like, but President Trump still has yet to sign the deal. So, yeah, I mean, until that guy signs anything, thanks, Adara, for that report. But yeah, INDA, interesting. Obi was going to look at that ETF, actually. Indian stock market's been hot fire.
So
we had Rahim Alani, obviously, from OCI coming through as well. And all right, let's just talk about eSignal quickly. You can scan that QR code right there. Get involved with eSignal. Then we'll show you these numbers. It is 1 month free. These guys, again, like, the charting that I use is primarily eSignal when we are looking at other charts other than the proprietary ones we have here. But eSignal can connect over 50 plus brokers. Again, the best part about eSignal that I can tell is the fact that you can be entitled to any market you want. If you are looking for that Indian stock market, or you're looking to get quotes on practically, as far as I know, any market. You know, this is an ICE product, so you can definitely contact them. Great customer service. The scanners are up to date, man. That's exactly this. Those are the exact scanners that we're using every single day. You can specify sort of the parameters of the scan that you're looking for, and just get involved with eSignal, man. I mean, it's completely free. I think it's worth it. Worst case scenario, you scan that QR code, you don't like it, and you stick with what you have. But for me on eSignal, go give it a shot. It is an expensive platform, but it's well worth it. The back testing and everything like that, like all of the VWAP trades and all of that. Obviously, a lot of it comes with experience, as Obi and I sit here and look at screens 7 hours a day. But you know, it does come with back testing abilities, tick replays, all of that, man. 1 second charts. Can change the chart to a 1 second chart right here. But let's go over right now and figure out, this is the top 10 traders here at Real Trading from yesterday. So it has nothing to do with today. From which day, Obi?
From yesterday.
Right, exactly. So here we go right now. Obi and I realized that BMNR is an Amex stock. Yep. So I don't know if that's what's steering this, but you know, Chicago, so yesterday we had someone make $19,000. These are the markets. This is the P&L in US dollars. So there, look at this one. Oh boy. Blue Ocean.
Oh,
someone took down 8
boy.
G's yesterday on Blue Ocean. So congratulations to that trader. Right there. Sorry, 7.3 right there. So there's Blue Ocean. Nasdaq was 7.7. Zetra there in Germany. So a German market there. Blue Ocean. Oh, Blue Ocean twice. What am I doing? I missed that one. 10 G's.
Wonder what that was.
Right there on Blue Ocean. And we did have Jeff Mendel come through yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. And they're doing Moon ATS as well. So, you know, you should be able to see different markets coming through. But I don't know if we're going to change it to, but Blue Ocean is the market. So it'll probably stay there for now. But it's the after hours is really starting to get spiced up here. So if you are looking to trade with anybody, I've been trading with Real Trading for over 23 years. And, you know, really enjoy the platform. It's this platform that we have right here. It is completely built by traders for traders. So what that means is like it's completely customizable, right? We have all those stop keys, just tons of options here, no matter what your trading style. And I think that's the other thing. You and I talked about that. Neil has a different style. We all have different styles. And the platform can completely adapt to your style and get going with that. Forex is also on here as well. There's lots of stuff popping through on there. So yeah, I wish, what's up, Andre? I wish we could show you the losses. It's not, we don't show the losses. It's not, they're not available.
Don't show
there.
the wins either.
They're not there. We're just showing the P&Ls.
Show the trades.
Oh, no. I think you meant on the,
on
the prop firm. So yeah, unfortunately that's going to have to be a decision from the big guys. But the thing about trading on a prop floor is that we are very, very scheduled here. So meaning like we have our stops, we have our buying power, you know, you can't deposit in, like whatever money you have in there is the money that's assigned to the account. And yeah, so it comes and goes, but you're only allowed to lose, generally speaking, as much as you make. So there's like a tiered scale there. And then it also shuts you down. So like no one's gonna be allowed to lose 20 grand. You know, unless you're averaging like 30 or 40 grand, you know. So it's all flowing like that, but I do get your point. And if there was a loss area, I would love to show it to you. But the other important thing to understand is, and it's not like I'm trying to throw shade at others, but like this is real money. You know, this is not, there's no contest being run or anything like that, which I think contests are great, but these are funded traders already, and the numbers that we are showing you. So
I think the purpose of some of the competitions is to like create some motivation and create some passion.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I didn't even know. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know that like we're allowed to kind of show that from the firm there with the top 10 traders, right? It's like more often I check that every day.
I'm
that's
not
motivation
sure either
for me
at this point, but
that's motivation for me as well. I'm like the best players at this firm are putting up those numbers with the same kind of market access, with the same kind of keys, with the same kind of stocks that I'm watching, but it's very, very clear the way that they're thinking, the way that they're strategizing is very clearly different, and that gives me motivation to perform better because it's a very clear perspective of yes, it can be done, and it's just are you on the grind to get there? I think that's really big as well. So
the news
Real
on
trading.
Yeah, Real Trading. Yeah, shout out to Real Trading, man. I mean, obviously we're sitting on the floor and sponsor of the show again. So we want to say a big shout out to Real Trading. But today we did have some news on what was it, Centene, right? There today, you had that earlier today, Centene Corp. So gapping down. So the symbol is CNC. I was just looking at UNH because there was talk in the chat about why is UNH down. So I'm going to tell it to you. Here's CNC. So you had traded this earlier today. Centene again down 40% today, and just nasty, right? I mean, a big hit there for the company coming through. And what happened was gapping down after withdrawing its guidance. So I mean, again, in the healthcare space, I think there's so much that's up for determination or understanding here in this space and what the healthcare space is going to look like moving forward in the United States. Again, of course, we're here in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada, but this includes their GAAP and adjusted diluted EPS projections. So they're no longer projecting anything, underlying guidance elements as well. So they're pulling everything right there. The company attributed its withdrawal to weaker than expected market growth. I'm just reading the note from our watch list, which all of you could get for free right now, link in description. 22 of its 29 marketplaces, they're expecting weaker than expected downside. So 22 of 29 states that they're in right now, they're expecting weaker than expected growth. So that's not great. Then the analysts come out and downgrade. So B of A and Cantor right now, both downgrading CNC. So that's why I was asking you guys, and guys, send me something, man, if you have any information, because I think I like to get involved in Oscar. So that would be something there. And then UNH again. Neil's in UNH, so you know, we can talk to him about that.
I was looking at that this morning because it finally started to curl.
That's the other thing. So I was going to say, like, you know, we'll be happy when we come in and see Webull where it is, but UNH did have what looked to be a breakout moment here. And remember, UNH unfortunately had that, I'm not going to say his name, I know what it is, to give him more airtime. You know, when you murder somebody in broad daylight, I'm not going to talk about you, regardless of if you're Italian or not. But there's the move back down in right there. But we got into 329, 330 area, looking like we wanted to break out right there, and then today happened. So, you know, UNH is a monster in this space. I know there's a lot of ill will towards sort of the healthcare industry, as there is here too. A guy I coach with is pretty high up in the healthcare space here in Canada, working for the government and old age homes. I forget the exact terminology of that spot, and there's a lot of, you know, things that happen in some of these homes that people don't appreciate. And so anyways, UNH, and not living in the United States, I better hold back my comment, but just from what we know right now, healthcare and that space is a little bit in a problem. So if you were gonna not pick a name, XLV is the ETF. So, you know, getting hit 1% if you want to sort of, you know, dive into that. But Oscar was something that was interesting to me. And oh boy, here we go, man. There goes Rivian. I mean, look, it's only right now 5 cents, so it's not that much. But Obi, you know, we talk about this all the time. You have 3,000 shares, you know, you have 5,000 shares, you have 100, like whatever the share size that you actually have on board right here, you know, I mean, 5 cents. If you have 5,000 shares, it's 250 right there. Like that's that's
like look at the book. That's more like the book can definitely take that. Look, someone right there, 4,000 shares right there in a single, I mean, that's a dark pool, but.
You can take it like it's not even anything. But yeah, so there you go. So yeah, so this is just what I wanted to say to you guys. It's a good trade. We'll spin it because we are one of those guys. So there it goes, man. Rivian, a nice move to the downside right now. And again, what did we do with this? Breaking the low of the day, basically. We zoomed back out. I said we had this Arch Manning. You know Archie Manning? No, sports doesn't matter. Do you know Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I was just about to say that's a Manning that I've heard
of. That's a Manning, yeah. So he's a Manning as well.
Yeah,
he's would be Peyton's nephew.
He's a football player.
Yes.
I know.
And he had a brother.
Okay, and this is
book,
that Manning?
If I said this to you, the book of Eli or and doesn't
the book of Eli. Yeah, that's a movie, right?
I have no idea. But Eli Manning is the brother.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay,
it doesn't matter. But anyways, this was arching. I don't like. Why did I even do that? Like I just was talking about this arching down. But there it goes, a nice little arch down there. Look, man, we're on the air for 6 hours. We got to talk about something. But there's the move down there in the name. So yeah, we had noticed that we were starting to come back down to the downside. Our stop at one point was 13. Now we can basically stop flat if we wanted to. But with only 3 minutes to go with these imbalances coming out, I think it's wise for me right now to start to piece out of this trade. And look, if it continues, there, I just put a bid at 84 and it gets swallowed up immediately right there. So nice move back in for this play as we continue to make new moves down on Rivian. So far, so good right there on the downside. There's a super chat there. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take that super chat. So where to go? Right there. Okay, so I guess we missed a couple of them. So let me just go here. There it is. Okay, so Sid saying love y'all back as well. And then I think you covered this one, the CNC, that one's been covered here. The Roaring Griffin, thank you for the super chat, went from green to very red, back to slightly green.
Okay.
We call that GFB, gain from bottom. Thanks for all the love from the chat while I was down. Love the show, love the community. We love you guys as well. Roaring Griffin, thank you very much for that super chat. And sometimes it's pretty crazy for your ability to kind of, you know, be a little bit green, go all the way down and bring yourself all the way back up. Man, that takes a lot of mental effort. That takes a lot of, you know, zen, I would say, you know, maintaining your headspace to kind of, you know, keep yourself in the game and then kind of trust yourself in your ability to bring that back. So shout out to you. Great GFB there on that. Brother Howard saying BTBT looks like the beginning of a massive swing trade with just a little more buying action. COO and CEO bought 2.5 million shares in the last week. Oh boy, that's a good thing to know. So thank you, Brother Howard, for that,
brother man.
Yeah. So so look at what happens here. I get kind of stopped out on both my TQ short and my Google short, and we're coming right back into the lows. That's perfectly fine. It is what it is.
Did you use a trailing stop? Why did you get stopped out?
Because I covered the majority of it, and I did trail that last piece. So again, maybe not the best decision. If I'm covering most of it, I can definitely kind of switch my risk to be like, all right, I'm just going to risk the high a day there with a lot less size because I've covered a decent chunk already on both those dips there. So yeah, I could have done that a little bit better. Market's finally starting to curl a little bit as of right now. But guess what, guys? I know you guys have been noticing some stuff going on in the background.
There is?
There are a couple screens in the back as well that say pardon the construction. So you guys might be wondering what's happening. Well, that's a metamorphosis right there, right? So it's like we're calling it Studio 8. It's the eighth iteration of Trader TV Live. If you guys have been here with us since, what was that, 2020?
April 2020.
2020 was when one of the first streams happened, and oh boy, have we come a long way. And yeah, it is a full evolution because everything is transforming here. And yeah, so definitely, you guys want to watch out for that one, and
it's
stay tuned. We're pretty much like just if you guys have been watching for the past couple of weeks, you guys can
10
see
seconds
here that it's looking distinctly different. So much room, Sean. Absolutely so much room.
You're just waiting for
5
that
more
distinctly
seconds.
different thing, weren't you? You're waiting for that.
I mean, it's not distinctly different.
3,
just
2,
yet,
1. Yeah, good
but-
call.
Oh boy,
For
what
sure. Oh
was
boy.
that?
Oh boy. What do you mean? What was that? What was going on right here?
Google just slapped up.
Okay, so there it is, man. Nvidia with a big buy right there, a big bear buy AI right there. Nice move there for that. Nothing. Oh, I got to fix this source here and activate that so we get the paired off volume properly there. So here we go. Get rid of those broker calls. Right there, Nvidia, something called evac. We're evacuating that. That's a UN. So that must be a warrant or not a warrant. We'll get that anyways in a minute. Apple with a buy as well, kind of going to the upside there right now, but not much else going on here. CNC there with a bid. So there goes Centene if you're looking to get some rebounds in that one as well for Centene. But yeah, there's Big Bear AI not doing too much. I think I'm just going to exit this trade right now. If it manages to go up, it manages to go up. We're fine with that. Let's exit out of Big Bear AI and see what happens after that. Okay, so that's that trade. But yeah, not much else going on right here. Gurn, Apple. I don't know. I didn't look at Tesla yet to see what that's doing here at the end of the day. 313, so it actually turns the other way. We were waiting for 317 to maybe do something there. Yeah, and that's too bad. Sorry you got stopped out of some of those futures trades, but the futures are now going up, Obi, at least, so we don't have to worry too much about that. You know, the biggest trade miss, we had a good trade on Hood for sure, but we had Oracle, man. We had Oracle right here at 225. I mean, I like going ahead and, you know, looking at this sort of review that we had right here, or sorry, not review this. Important rules, use the dollar sign before ticker. I was going to see that poll, but it was just sort of like full speed ahead or hit the brakes or whatever. When that news story hit, I thought we had something. I mean, it did make a move up. We were about $1 in the money, but it just happened so quick. I didn't even get anything out. Normally, I'd like to get out at 10%. Then when it fell back in and took the 200 period moving average, you know, we can hear whatever news story we want, but if we don't really know the story, it becomes pretty difficult to stay into it. And we knew the story. It was something to do with ChatGPT and Starlink, but you know, without knowing exactly how that's going to affect the stock, it does make our job a little hard to hold on. But there it goes breaking, and there goes Oracle up 4.24%. So again, congratulations to anybody that has that. Great day there for Oracle as it continues to move higher. Palantir as well. I'm stopped out. Rivian is all the way back up now. So it was a good thing that we were able to take some out. We got some 89s there on the way back out. But right now, I still have about a third of the trade, which we had a little bit less than that. Here it is. Here's the results of the poll. So right into there. I don't know if I can make this any bigger, but it just goes afternoon vibe. It looks like all gas, no brakes wins right there. So people always looking for trades. So shout out.
Guess which one I picked?
Done for the day? No, you were in a trade. Play it safe.
No.
All gas, no brakes.
No.
Well, I'm stuck at this. Looking for hero trade.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I was like, most people are probably not going to pick that, so I want to be on that side of the poll. Sure, but yeah, Oracle, absolutely crazy, man. This thing is ripping up into the close. I just pulled that up as soon as you mentioned it. Again, maybe some, I guess, some higher time frame or a longer frame perspective required on this one. I'm going to definitely be looking at this one a little bit closer on my scans tonight. And again, with a little bit of a push on the to the upside here, you can see what we're breaking. We're breaking this earlier, I guess, a week high, so closing in strong going into the end of the week. And you already know I have an anchored VWAP from their earnings here, and you can see no real reason. Maybe one day you chop around underneath that anchored, reclaim, and then now we're starting to accelerate off of that volume-weighted average price, off of prior earnings, and I think earnings anchored VWAPs are pretty decent for the most part. We gotta ask Brian Shine that one there. I was like, how often on a significant earnings report, when you drop that anchored, how often does that price actually follow through going forward on that? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've seen a little bit of confluence just doing it over and over again, but I don't think I've really ran the numbers or the stats to give me a little bit more confluence for that one there. But guys, trade the pool. We got another behind-the-scenes look at Trade the Pool, but this time we're diving into the community side of Trade the Pool. As you know, each trader gets his or her own hub, and inside one you'll find Trade Talk, a powerful chatting and analysis space where traders map out strategies, break down setups, and share predictions with the community. And if you're looking for real-time interactive, the Trade the Pool Discord is where you got to visit. It's full of active traders sharing insights, trades, and tips to grow together. At Trade the Pool, you're not trading alone, you're joining a firm that invests in your growth. Technically, mentally, and financially, head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Oh boy, the market just slapped to the upside. So it's a good thing I got out of that TQ short there as it's ripping back up towards its highs right there. And I don't have the right tape on here. This is CNC tape on that one. But again, we got the futures right here, so we'll take a look away from this one. CNC, I want to know what it's doing going into the close, because guess what, Sean? Tomorrow is day 2 of this trade, and sellers definitely stepped in. Wow, there goes the ES through the highs. Sellers definitely stepped in pretty aggressively. My question is going to become, it's still SSR. It's still going to be SSR tomorrow. Are we going to see more of the same? Pretty much a dead cat bounce. So for tomorrow, I'm going to have this reference high, 35.20s-ish, and then day lows. Again, a few more minutes until the close. Let's see how things close. Here comes a little bit. Oh, boy. Yeah, so there's something going on over here.
With what?
Yeah, market's ripping.
Oh, I know the market's ripping. Yeah, we did get a good. Those imbalances were to the buy side. I mean, generally speaking, they won't rip it like that. But yeah, nice move right there to the end of the day. You know, probably giving, let's see what Oracle wound up doing. Yeah, breaking through 230. So that's going to be probably a decent little look there tomorrow for that. We were able to get out of more of our Rivian down there near some of those lows. So that was going to be a good one. I'm still waiting. I was actually waiting at 89 right now to get some out. I can't right now. So probably should have gone on a different gateway. Oh, there it is. We got out right there as it slams through 89. So, now it does. Okay, so there goes 89. So we'll end our Rivian trade. I mean, it was a good thing we got out something at least down here when we were talking about that at 84, 85. So turns out to be a decent trade there for us on Rivian to end the day. We can find out where Robinhood wound up there. Pretty flat-ish action to close the day. You know, we had it. We traded it pretty good when it was moving around. But at the end of the day, we got stopped out there near those lows of the afternoon. So that's okay. We're pretty happy with that one. Big Bear AI, just to show you guys, over 360 million shares. Wow, I'm really happy with that performance here today on Big Bear AI. We take that most recent break. Why can't I zoom that out? Okay, it doesn't matter. There's where the break was for us earlier. So it turns out to be a decent trade there for Big Bear AI. We'll wait to see if we can get anything else going on there. But yeah, that's what's going on there. And then Rivian, AMD, Amazon. AMD pulls back a little bit. This AMD is still a pretty strong stock for me today. We're up on it. It's still holding out pretty good for us. But right there, we get out when that breaks higher. So AMD whipping around a little bit. And I still like this 220 area for Amazon to come into play. This was another great long. Again, like we got stopped out there, fine. But then we thought, you know, we were going to be a little smarter, and we waited for the 200 period to come back in. And when it did, boom, right there to the upside. So Amazon is my #1 P&L name today. Amazon after that kind of a trade, like long. Wait to see if this can come in tomorrow as well. All right, man, it's 3:58. Join myself, Adara, and Steve Tileman from Trade the Pool be coming through. I'm going to ask him about HIMS versus HERS right there. I know that was a stock that he was in. HIMS has been a nice downside push after losing Wegovy. Of course, he's going to tell me he's out of it, but we're gonna find out what he's doing there with that, and if he likes it again. So we'll wait to see what Steve has to say about HIMS and HERS there. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to go over to the other side right now. It'll be a great day today. You know, thanks for helping out, filling in for Neil as per usual. Whenever any of us are on vacation, we love having Obi with us as well. So great day today. Yeah, tomorrow we'll even make it better. How about that?
Yeah, for sure.
So all right, 1 minute left. I'm gonna head up. Obi, you don't have to. See, where did our countdown go? The countdown
we got to do the
be
countdown
there.
a little bit there.
So I don't know. Now it's gone. But if you remember, hit it with 10 seconds left.
Hey, yo, yeah, no, we've got about a minute left to go here on the day. Absolutely crazy, crazy moves. Again, the futures are coming back into the upside right now. So yeah, a lot of that chop doing a little bit more of the same going into the close. So I got to watch that one there. That Nvidia with a strong buy imbalance there, maybe bringing us up a little bit here, but Softy got clipped to the upside as well, and so did so did the TQs. I know I was in that one a little bit there, so one to watch out for. 30 seconds left. Oh boy! So hopefully you guys have had a solid day there. We saw one of our viewers talk about how going from a little bit green all the way deep into the red, and then bringing it all right back. So congratulations to you for that one there. And you know what? Sometimes that's what it is. Don't forget, the bell brought to you by Orogenics 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much, Adara, for that one there. So hopefully you guys had a solid day. And yeah, nothing else to mention. Shortened day tomorrow, so stick around with us. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day. And yeah, don't go around anywhere. We got Adara and Sean with the market recap coming up very, very soon. I'm just going to chill here for a little bit while they get set up. And yeah, I'd like to just thank you guys for spending your day with us here. Hopefully you guys learned something, learned a little bit of what to do, what not to do, maybe some insights, maybe some good jokes, and some, at the very least, maybe you were entertained a little bit there as well. So again, thank you all for joining us. And without any further ado, I think no, not yet, not yet. Okay, all right, guys, all right. Not yet. They need to get ready saying silky smooth. How come you know before I do? Dude, wait, you got cameras in here or something? This chat, man, they're on one. They definitely have a little bit of that premonition. They know what is going on for sure here. So good look to you guys. All right, Andre, see you. Thank you again for all the hard work that you guys do there. Thank you very much. And of course, Fabian as well on the ones and twos, and Ramin as well, and Brendo and Neil both on a little bit of a vacation. And of course, I gotta thank Sean as well, and of course Adara with all the news that she brings us in a very, very timely manner. So thank you very much for that. And of course, Sharif and Joe, everybody here on the team definitely stays killing it. So I think they're ready for us now here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Market recap coming right up. Take it easy.
One camera wasn't working, so I was like, I don't know which camera. This one's way off. This one's way off right there. Hey, welcome everybody to the After Hours show, the market recap show we like to call it. This is Adara LePage. I'm Sean Katina. Thank you again. You've probably heard my voice way too much today, especially if you've been on all day with us, and we want to thank you for all of that. There are no earnings though today. Don't go to that camera yet. There are no earnings today, so we don't have much to cover other than all the action that happened in the market. We did get that late note, of course, about the Indian possible trade deal coming through, so that should be exciting. We'll see if there's anything going on there. INDA would be the ETF to look there. I mean, I think that's positive. We had Vietnam news as well today coming out of the, it wasn't from Donald Trump, I guess from the administration.
Oh no, it was from Trump.
That's right.
He teased
socialed that.
He literally teased it and then delivered the whole thing, which I feel like is kind of maybe, I don't know how, I have thoughts on the way that was released in terms of pumping stocks-ish, but because it did kind of pump Lulu and Deck and then Nike, and then we got more details, and then they kind of went down and they kind of wobbled throughout the day. So yeah, I mean, if I found that just posting, we have a deal, more details to come, and then posting the details later is. Yeah.
You read my mind. I mean, that's exactly where I was going to go. I was going to go right over to the trade idea there, because as soon as that was announced, man, as soon as I heard Vietnam, I immediately was like Lululemon, because we had known that a lot of their products produced over there, and we had talked about once that deal gets announced, maybe there could be some favored terms here for U.S. companies, but nice upside move there for Lulu. It wasn't even that much really. It was $5 on 250, and then that came right back down. This is a 5-minute chart for Lululemon. Something very similar there for Nike, coming right back down. But Nike, for some reason, they're loving it. That's McDonald's. They're just doing it right there to the upside. And then Decker's Outdoor, again, as you had mentioned, nice upside down move there. But Lululemon is at some of these levels on the daily. We haven't been here. Oh, that's a 15-minute chart. Let me go over to a weekly chart, actually, then on Lululemon, just to show you. We're back here into 2020 levels right now for Lululemon. So if we do think that there's a possible deal coming through here with Vietnam that can there is, but favored some of these companies. Lululemon, probably a name down there that could take advantage of that. Just looking here, Block up here. Again, data sharing ETF. We had blockchain and all these kind of things starting to go upside right there today. So we're going to wait to see what happens with Block. I'm not sure of the biggest holding in that, and it's not a blockchain, but it's up 4% right there. Tman gets going again as well. The big, beautiful bill, just wondering about how that's going to affect some of the solar names. And again, weekly chart downside. Now we're starting to look like we're trying to break out. I actually think Tman could be a decent buy down here. Right now, look at that on a daily, poking its head above the 200 period. Moving average goes Tman. Names that you want to look at there for solar. You know, different plays going on there. A quick check on U.S. oil today, up 2%. So that's nice. Oil's definitely, we've talked about this at that $64, $65 level. Seems to be finding a little bit of a base right now down here around $73. That's USO. This is not light sweet crude or Brent crude or anything. This is USO oil fund. So right now, trying to find that base there as well on oil. We talked about, I don't think we don't have the dollar on here, but gold today, again, trying to hold out pretty good, up 0.56. So just some different talk against what we always just talk about, stocks there, but gold going good. Silver also, there's a lot of people talking about silver, possible breakout as well. They're $33, $34 coming for SL. What was down today? I was looking at this yesterday. I was actually surprised. Why? I'm not sure why Berkshire is down today. Maybe some problems in the insurance business. But yeah, Berkshire, I was thinking about buying some more of this. I'm in Berkshire. And yeah, this is literally the day that Warren Buffett, I believe, left us or left the company there.
He's still alive.
Still alive. Should just said left us, but left the company there as we talk about Berkshire. We've had some nice downward pressure there on this name. So Berkshire coming back in. Did we find anything specific on this? Or
I mean, yeah, I think it's just kind of general. Like I said, they're basically today, everything was super directional. You were either like a couple of Mag 7s, which are sharply up, or you were a couple of, you know, like these health insurance names, which are sharply lower. And other than that, you kind of were oscillating. The last news item I have on Benzinga for Berkshire is on June 3rd, if that gives you any context, and that is I have no news. Okay. And I haven't had any for a month, apparently. So
I like this stock. I mean, I think, you know, to get into this could be something. What is the insurance ETF? Not KIE, is it? Oh, it is KIE. Okay. So right there, the insurance. So there we go. So that's exactly why it seems like today, Adara, this insurance ETF right now, KIE, down. And we know that they have Berkshire, the holdings there, the financial spots, AIG, and various names, Aflac, so on and so forth there. So maybe something going on right there as rates always going to be affecting that K-Web down today a little bit as China, you know, again, as the talk, this is China internet stocks. FXI is actually China itself, the China 100, big cap, basically, large cap Chinese ETF there, down 0.46. We talked about that possible deal with India coming through today, but this has been pretty hot on a daily chart there. This is MSCI India ETF going back up to the upside, so there's something there as well. And then today's movement, Adara's doing a funny face over there, so I don't know what you're reading or hearing right now, but you want to say something?
I mean, I don't know if this is going to matter yet, but it's interesting. I'll share. It has to do with Robinhood. So in case you guys missed it, HOOD on Monday during their weirdly named To Catch a Token event, they were like, oh, we're gonna start having these tokenized stocks for a lot of these, you know, big tech tickers for people in the EU, but also private companies. Well, now the official OpenAI newsroom basically came out and they said, and I quote, these quote-unquote OpenAI tokens are not OpenAI equity. We did not partner with Robinhood. We were not involved in this, and we do not endorse it. Any transfer of OpenAI equity requires our approval. We did not approve any transfer. Please be careful. So OpenAI apparently not a fan of this. This just came out on X as I'm reading it. This, it looks like their official OpenAI newsroom. Tweets are all on the record, and Robinhood not really responding here. So either way, kind of interesting stuff there, and I just wanted to mention that just in case.
Yeah, no, I mean, please keep doing that because, you know, stuff like that could definitely affect this stock, especially after hours. But you can see basically the after hours just starting now. This is a 5-minute chart. Robinhood saying, hold my beer to that story. Look, Robinhood's story continues, man. I mean, if we want to talk about that, I do want to go back to CNC, talk about Centene a bit, but there goes Robinhood, man. It's tripled up from its tariff lows. And we had a huge move up today in Webull as well, as that starts to go upside. The news on Webull today, of course, was its forays into the Brazilian market as South America right here. Crypto, South America. Again, Webull, what a nice move there today, up 11%. We're long this name at $11. We've been talking about, I think we even talked about this with Steve as well recently. I've been talking about this with everything. There goes Webull, nice upside move. We also had some continuation today on Big Bear AI. I was able to get some out here again today as this name continues its climb to all-time greatness. Now, I don't know. Big Bear AI with a 20, well, now it's 32% short float. That name continues to go higher. But it was Centene today that sort of pulled all their guidance, and that was not good. They pulled all their guidance across all metrics. They pulled their EPS, they pulled their forward guide. They actually said 22 of their 29 operating states, they are looking for declines. So that's not good. And the stock hit like hard right there for Centene. Let me go over a little bit of a longer time frame just to see, are we at like buying zones here? I mean, pretty close. What about $26? That goes all the way back to 2015 right now. Are we really in that much trouble over there? I mean, we're in here in Canada. We don't really have these kind of companies here. Yeah, right now, Centene, nice downside play there. We've already seen stocks like UNH get hit on sort of malpractice, not malpractice, but I guess so, as they've come in there, some insurance claims that were not appropriately handled. Plus, we do have, of course, the big change there, the sweeping change promised by Donald Trump over in the healthcare space. So UNH downside play as well. That's looking pretty nasty. But if you go back to 2015, as Centene was, UNH would have to be $113 before we get to any of those levels. For me, we talked about OSCR. I'm going to do some more work on this. I'm actually trying to get you guys to give me an idea here, because if you drop a anchor right here off the open, then this is anchor view up right here. Anchor, not dropping. Okay, but anyways, this one right here coming right back in. Oscar coming back to $16 and change. Look for a buy down here, maybe not near 13. This name down again as well, down 18%. All of the sectors, I mean, many of these names, we can actually look at Humana as well, HUM today down 4%. So this name doing a little better than the rest. This might be the buy. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I was just saying, I think with these like Humana, in terms of intraday, tends to be the least active in my experience, unless it's earnings, in which case I actually find it to be a good one to trade for earnings. But yeah, generally the most active are going to be either UNH or, I mean, today, Centene for sure. I was just going to say, yeah, someone who watches and intraday trades this space on a, I would say, fairly regular basis. Those are kind of usually the top intraday places to look, I would say. UNH, though, we really, like yesterday, we actually broke out of that 319, 320 barrier, and then we kind of came right back below it. So this could be interesting. Unfortunately, just when UNH looks like it gets out of its own way, Centene gets into UNH's way. So yeah, I think that's what was actually one of my picks for the year for our Trader TV live thing. I mean, I don't know if I would bang button that. It's literally one of the worst stocks of the year.
What's Centene?
You know, UNH.
Oh, UNH. No, but whatever. So, it doesn't matter. You don't know.
Right? I mean, like Boeing's up, Lilly is flat. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting how things can change very quickly, especially when you have as much headwind, or as many headwinds, as we're seeing with our friend UNH. I mean, they lost their CEO.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, based on the charting right now of UNH, I mean, maybe it's a time to, average in. We've held that $300 level. Maybe there's a trade there, right?
I don't know. It looks kind of, I mean, for the sake of our picks for the year, that's kind of a moot point. I think we're holding 300, but we're kind of oscillating around 300. I would probably hands off for now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I think hands off is a good idea. And again, remember, obviously, when we're talking about that, we're just having fun with that sort of a contest that we threw down there, where we all five of us, I think, picked 3 names. And I picked Palantir, Coinbase, and the Dow. And I think I'm probably up on all of those. So far, so good. We did get late day news, of course, on Oracle. And oh boy, was that a breakout there today as well. So Oracle continues to make that move. Here it was. I was in this name today at 225. when that news hit. Just after the news hit, it went up here into 227, came right back in. We got stopped out. We got flushed out on that one for a small hit on there, as we don't want to trade the news too strong until we can figure out a little bit more about it. But Oracle ends the day at all-time highs, and what a great trade that's going to be here tomorrow, I think. I think we can try to buy some more Oracle on news again with ChatGPT, Starlink, just coming all together there. Oracle, nice move back up to the upside. Thank you, Tia. Yeah, I do know I'm taking on a lot here, going from the show but back over here. But Neil and I both do this every single day, market recap. We want to thank Adara for just sitting here all day and giving us all the news at very professional way. So we really, really like that right there. Oracle, a nice upside play. We're going to call on Steve Tman very, very soon. One more thing here. Microsoft and Marvell today. That story came out, I guess, that Microsoft, as what we have written down here, the information reported that Microsoft is scaling back its AI chip plans, and that affects Marvell greatly, as Marvell and Microsoft kind of tied at the hips there with chip development. So, we had known that. We had talked about being in Marvell. I'm still in Marvell. We've gotten some out. We're long Marvell right here, $64. It went up to $80. It almost got to the 200 period. Man, that was a good out for us up there. We've gotten 2 outs. I think we got out 75, then again 77 or so. But a nice move down there for Marvell. Only down 2.74%, but different name than everything else, right? Nvidia today up 2.5%, looking to take out the top. I think AMD was flat-ish. No, AMD must have gone up there near the end. Yeah, so there it goes. Nice move. We actually started shorting that. Right, just hearing this news again about OpenAI and Robinhood.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like I'm very proud. I was literally first to this because I saw it exactly 3 seconds, and I'm not joking, after OpenAI posted it on X. So shout out to Brendan for making sure we're following the OpenAI newsroom, or otherwise I would not have seen this, but I'll go over it again. So OpenAI getting a little bit pressed. In case you guys missed it on Monday during the To Catch a Token event, we had our friends Vlad Tenev and co at Robinhood saying, not only we're going to be doing tokenized stocks for EU, we're also going to be doing tokenization of private companies, including SpaceX and OpenAI, and we're going to send them to you guys. Now, for weirdly, like more than 48 hours later it takes, but anyways, OpenAI saying that these tokens are not OpenAI equity. They did not partner with Robinhood. They were not involved. They don't endorse it or approve of it, and any transfer of OpenAI equity requires their approval, which they did not give. So yeah, they are not pleased as punch with Hood right now, to put it very lightly.
It's so funny how those stories come out like after the fact and
like
all that.
2 days
but it's just like, it seems so, I feel like there's something fishy with that. But Robinhood, I mean, if there is any truth to that, I mean, I just look at the extension here on the stock. I think it's probably due for a pullback. That is for sure. There was one thing I needed to do before we went over. I know we got to go to Steve for sure. But I was actually looking. We actually do have a new sponsor now for the closing show. So I do want to thank GlobeX right now. Global X is your new sponsor for the recap show. So right there, brought to you by Beta Pro. So thank you to Global X right there for sponsoring our market recap show. It's Trader Talk. Let's go. Steve Tman from Trade the Pool coming through one more time. Steve, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, doing great. Thanks for having me on. How are you doing?
I'm doing, I mean, same way, man. Yesterday we had Canada Day, so some good feels. The family went to go see some fireworks, and now we're getting, for Trader TV Live, we only take the U.S. holidays, so we're kind of getting geared up now for a half day tomorrow, ending at 1 p.m. And then, of course, Friday, July 4th, we're not going to be live. Do you trade any other markets on U.S. holidays, or do you take that time to kind of relax?
Oh, honestly, I need all the screen time away from the market, or all the time away from the screen as possible. So yeah, I'll be hanging out with family. But good. Respect to those warriors out there trading on the holidays.
Any thought to half days? I mean, tomorrow's going to be that half day. What strategy do you like to maybe even take that day off maybe as well? Trade lighter, wait for news to hit. What's kind of the strategy for you on these half days like we're about to enter tomorrow?
For me, yeah, super light trading, if at all. I'm not planning on entering any trades, just managing existing positions. If I see something really juicy, you know me, I'll have to take a swing. But in general, pretty hands off on these half days. They're just too unreliable.
Does a story like that we got at the end of the day there on Oracle, I'm going to flip over to you, you can come over to the chart here on my screen. We got a real big, I don't have volume on here, but if I put it on, you'd see a big, huge increase in volume here right at the end of the day on Oracle as, again, some news drops about their relationship with Starlink, and not Starlink. It was Starlink, wasn't it, Dara?
Yeah, Stargate. That's Stargate.
Stargate, sorry, not Starlink. Stargate project going to the upside. See, like that's something that maybe we would get involved in. I really like this trade because we broke through that 228 area. What is your opinion here on Oracle getting that late day bump? And I mean, on a chart, I know you look at dailies and weeklies as well. We've already broken out and we sort of had this little gathering here. Not Magic the Gathering though, Steve. We had a little bit of a gathering right here from 210, 205 up to 215, and then now the breakthrough. To me, this chart looks real healthy. We got a great bump there on earnings, which is this yellow line. You like Oracle moving forward?
Absolutely. I mean, how can you not like such an explosive breakout in such a key name? I think these AI data center names are really starting to gear up to be, well, to continue to be the leaders. But yeah, excellent chart. I think we just got to keep buying dips as long as short-term moving averages hold and just buckle in for the ride, honestly.
No, I mean, I think that's right. What would you use in order to get out? Like, let's just say I was a new trader and I just took a position right here at all-time highs of a stock. Is there a certain moving average you like to use? Is there some sort of volume indicator or whatever you use to say, hey, look, I bought something at the all-time high. I want to give it a little bit of time to work. But how do you know you're wrong? Like, what is something that you would look at for a stock in order to know to yourself, hey, I'm wrong on this. I got a little too excited, maybe FOMO. Where would you get out? What are some of the things that you might look at? We can share screen as well. I don't know if you have that going, but Oracle or any kind of an idea right now, where would your out be on all-time high breaks? Any sort of indicator that you like to use?
Yeah, absolutely. On my screen here, I have the blue 9-day EMA.
Okay.
This is my trend following EMA for breakouts here. I think as long as it's trading above that and there's no big volume knives closing below that, you're in good shape. That's kind of the more aggressive moving average. You could also use a 21 EMA. That's the yellow line here. And I think both are good trend measuring indicators. But when this one's so strong, it's not even tapping into this 9. I think we need to see a close under this to be worried.
Okay, so nine period on a daily moving average. So okay, so that would be a great little tip there. Thanks for going over that. I can't have you on without talking about a stock that basically you were all over. I think you know which stock I'm going to be talking about here. We had HIMS coming through. So HIMS and HERS. This was a name that a lot of traders, obviously yourself included, I mean a lot of traders in our chat were looking at this name as we were trying to break out again over and over. I mean, this is a big short float, over 32% right now we have listed here on our screens. But we didn't get that obviously devastating news there that they lost Wegovy, I believe it was, and then that came all the way back to the downside. Now trying to get going again. What were you thinking that day when that had happened? What was your sort of plan of action? Maybe you'd gotten lighter on the stock heading into that move. What do you think about the stock now? And I'm just asking you this because there are a lot of people in our chat that wanted to hear your opinion on HIMS and HERS because you have a strong one.
Yeah, absolutely. So the news was absolutely a curveball for me. I was not expecting it.
Right.
I luckily did trim just because I was up about 30% on the leveraged ETF. But man, that was not a fun Monday morning by any means. My opinion on HIMS going forward is without Wegovy, I think that it could retest as low as potentially 30 in terms of fundamentals. That was a big hit to their business model. That being said, the aggressiveness of the initial dip buy, I think that there are still a lot of buyers that believe in this stock, regardless of them not having Wegovy. I think that the biggest factor here is that it broke the chart and it needs to reset up. So I stopped out at market open on Monday. I was actually on vacation, so it was an automatic thing. You know, it opened under my level. It got me out. It was not fun. I'm glad that I got out, though, just because for me, this is no longer a valid setup until it can reclaim some of those moving averages. As you can see, it's under the 50, that green line there. It's under the now falling steeply 9 and 20 EMAs as well. So I need to wait and see for it to step up. You can also see that red horizontal line. That's the equilibrium of the range. So if we can see some volume pushing above that and maybe it bases out for another week or two, I think it's still on my watch list. I'd still like to give it another shot just because I like the name. But, you know, when you're wrong, and I was wrong.
Right. Okay. Well, that's, I mean, a great call out there. And there's nothing wrong. you know, we're all going to have those kind of moments. And that's the thing. I think as long as you have stop orders, and that way, you know, you don't really have to think about it. Try to let emotions exit those trades. I think that's obviously a great idea. Look, we had a huge move up today in Bitcoin. So, you know, we came close to that 110 again. I have the chart up right here for everybody. There it is right there, 109. It looks like we got as high as 109.5 and change. I don't know, man. 1, 2, 3. Let's wait to see if we can break 112. But to me, it looks like we get a good chance of doing that. We had a real strong hold at 100,000. I mean, as far as a, you know, visual sort of a, mental area that we're looking for there, some nice little confluence down there at $100,000. Then the bump up. I mean, boy, oh boy, have we held this for a while, from May to June, and we're going back in here right now. Let's see what winds up happening now with crypto. But anything you like in this space, Ethereum's also starting to go back to the upside. Thoughts on us potentially breaking this all-time high? And let me ask you, Steve, I mean, I think we all think it's going to break the high, but what do we do when that happens? Is it this time chance to buy those highs, or are we going to give it a little second to sort of cool down, wait to see what happens? And there's nothing wrong with missing 112. Hey, if it works, buy 115. I mean, hopefully the trajectory is higher and you don't have to worry about it. What are your thoughts right here on Bitcoin reaching all-time highs?
Absolutely. I mean, I love Bitcoin. I'm a massive Bitcoin bull in general. Okay. I think the chart is setting up pretty ideally. So I'm not one to buy these double tops. So the first time it swept the initial double top from January when it hit that 112 handle, that I would say not safe to buy. It could be a double top. It needs to form out a strong foundation at these new levels. And I think that's what we're seeing. I mean, we've had, like you mentioned, 2 tests down, holding that key level of the initial kind of surge up from 96 to 100 and change. And that area is held magnificently. I think it's forming a nice cupping like handle here after rebasing way up here in the 90s. So for me, I think that it's a long if it breaks out. I think it's a safer long if it back tests that level. Like you said, we don't need to nail that 112. We don't need to undercut it. You're, you know, kind of get in early. Hopefully it will give us a solid look. It'll push through and back test and provide a very safe entry off of that 110, 112-ish area. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Hi, Steve. I want to ask you about a name that's sort of in the crypto space here. That would be Robinhood, HOOD. This one breaking new all-time highs, breaking above the $100 level. But we just got post-market a bit of a catalyst that might be an issue. OpenAI apparently not a fan of Robinhood's plan to offer a tokenized version of their equities. So what are your thoughts on HOOD here from a technical perspective, this name that you've been involved with? And I guess, much like Oracle, how do you get involved once something's trading at these all-time highs?
Hi, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Hood. It's been one of my highest conviction plays ever since the correction. It was the very first stock I bought after that crash. So I was in from 35 to 40, and I'm all out right now. I left some money on the table, but my long-term target was that all-time high, that wick high. So I was all out here, as you can see. This didn't feel great. My projection was a pretty decent pullback to more solid support around that 65-70 area. We did not get that, but I'm just seeing the market on Hood looking for a reason to take some profit, ring that register, and then reaccumulate. So for me personally, I love the stock. I think it's going much higher. That being said, it is not my top watch in the crypto space.
Do you ever hold on to like 10%? Like you mentioned that you're out of Robinhood. And so I just think, again, it goes to the discipline of your stop orders on HIMS. It goes to your discipline of putting a limit order at, whatever high level you think is appropriate. Do you always get out completely and then that allows you to sort of regroup? Or do you keep a little bit just to see how far we can run?
You know, honestly, in an ideal world, I would leave that runner. I think there's so much value in that. And I'm a big proponent of free rolling trades to allow the winning trades to keep on working for you. This was one of those vacation order fills, and I just didn't look until it was 5, 6, 7% higher. And I kind of took it off my screen to ease my heart. But I think that's absolutely the way to handle these, especially if you free rolled a position completely like we did with Hood at 40. So that I think is the way to press these winning trades.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategy also. Like if you ever double up, you can get out a half and then you're rolling with a house money at that point and you get those big wins. I'm not going to call up too many charts here. I know you know the space. It's electric vehicles. So we've been going up and down. Tesla's a little wild right now. I'm not sure that that's going to be where that's going to land. I don't even know if it's an electric vehicle play anymore, to be honest with you. We had Rivian down today, 4%. We've talking about Ford and GM starting to go a little bit right now as those start to look to break out. We had Brian Shannon on yesterday. He loved the GM breakout and actually stamped that as one of his calls. And so respect to that as that went up again today. Ford starting to break higher now as well. Rivian with the bad delivery number this morning. Is there a space? VinFast, we have VFS is going as well. Lucid, Fisker unfortunately is bankrupt. But is there a name in this space as far as motor vehicles, EV specifically, that you like right now? I mean, I like that GM breakout because we found that yesterday with Brian, but is there anything that you're looking at in the space?
Hey, I'm not going to fade Brian Shannon. What a legend. Honestly, I haven't looked at the space too closely, but GM looks incredible.
Right.
It's such a solid breakout.
I'll call it up.
And it's such a significant base that it's breaking out of too, or if it can. I mean, this thing's been trading sideways for a decade, more or less.
Right, I was going to actually call up the monthly chart.
Push.
Yeah, I was actually just going to call up a monthly chart because of your point exactly right there. Right now, even if we go back to these levels, this is 2021 right there. So we're trying to break through. I mean, Steve, imagine what happens if we could break through $60 right now. I mean, that really gets that going there on GM and then, of course, on Ford as well. A lot of room to go on Ford. This might be sort of the secondary play as GM doing work. Ford still has a big way to go. So maybe Ford is a good play. You ever looked at Toyota Motors as well? Because this is actually underneath right now. And as we get more talk from Japan, there we potentially have some deals going through with Japan. We talked about Vietnam today, India today as well. Any thoughts on TM right here? This is underneath right now the 50-period moving average.
Yeah, absolutely. And this really loops back into my general trading philosophy, which is that I will never compete with these trading desks in terms of fundamental analysis.
Right.
My edge will always be on reading the charts, reading the divergences, and kind of inferring based on that. So when I see Toyota lagging so much, I think that there's a lot of headwinds, or at least perceived headwinds in terms of potential trade deals or lack thereof. So for me, it is not on my radar for a long. I'm sure that somebody might get a killer knife catch deal on these names. But for me, that's not the kind of setup I trade. So I'm sticking with the GMs. I'm sticking even with the Fords, even though it is a laggard. I definitely prefer the GMs. But yeah, Toyota is not on my radar because I'm not really sure what's wrong with it, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's, and I think, you and I are very much alike. We look at the macro as well. I mean, you can look at charts all you want, but at the end of the day, you got to kind of like the stock for reasons. Then, in my opinion, go over to the chart and make sure that it justifies your opinion in order to put, I mean, we're putting real capital at work here. You just don't want to throw money at an idea because you think it might work. You got to make sure the charts are there as well. Okay, you've answered a lot of questions from the chat. Some of these names I've been giving you are from the chat. Is there a name that maybe we hadn't talked about? I'm sure there's lots that you're really keeping your eye on that maybe when we have you on next week or in the coming weeks, we can discuss with you. So what is a name that you're looking at right now for a potential trade, either a swing trade or sort of, why don't I just give you the case? You lay one down for us. What name you want to talk about?
Can I throw you a little curveball and just speed run 3 or 4 names?
Hey, that the name of the game. Let's go.
Awesome, let's go. So I think the AI basket's looking incredibly promising here. This was my biggest call out this weekend in my newsletter. I think AI is the kind of biggest name. I'm basically looking at the basket of initial AI names, kind of, so to speak, pure plays here. I think AI is breaking out. BBAI is leading the way. Incredible push out of this 50% consolidation. And I love SOUN as well. These are names with big bases, high potential, movers. I love the names. And the very last one I'll give you here, MicroStrategy. It posted a really ugly candle yesterday, but reclaimed beautifully. And with the breakout in Bitcoin, I think MicroStrategy will continue to outperform here.
Why do you like MicroStrategy? Because there's been some talk about, like, why would we hold MicroStrategy instead of BTC and vice versa? But I guess the relationship is still strong between the two of them, and you're just expecting, again, more of an outside move from MicroStrategy as opposed to just holding Bitcoin? Is that what the play is?
That's the gist. I think that it goes through periods of outperformance and underperformance. We got the big push up in outperformance, and we caught that trade from, I think, 311 to the 420 meme level. And it just, to me, it looks like a very similar setup where the breadth in terms of the ratio chart is starting to look better to me. I think that there's room for another outperformance leg here. And hey, grifts are in. And so this one's a little bit of a Ponzi, but you know what? We'll take those for trades.
So where can, thank you, Steve, where can everybody find you again with tomorrow, obviously with Friday being your, the holiday, July 4th, and by the way, happy 4th to you and your family. Are you guys streaming tomorrow? What's going on? Let's drop some knowledge here.
Thank you so much for asking. So this week we're actually doing the next installment of our Trading Foundations webinar, and that'll be about 10 minutes from now.
Perfect.
That'll be on Trade the Pool. It'll be on their YouTube channel there. You can catch me there. You can also catch me at my new Twitter handle at Steve Tman.
There we go.
And just started that up, and you'll find me there. I'll be starting to post there as well.
Perfect. Great. Now it's so much easier for me to say saying at Steve Tman. So that's perfect. You can go and get that right now. Steve, thank you so much. And again, happy 4th to you and yours. And thanks for coming on. And we'll make sure that some of our viewers go check you out. So that's Steve Tman. Go check him out on X as well from Trade the Pool. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much. Happy 4th.
Same. Ciao. All right. There we go. And that's a close to our recap show, again, sponsored by Global X. That is our recap show for the day.
Oh, I think it's Beta Pro, maybe, actually.
But that is Beta Pro by Global X.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So there we go. Scan that QR code, which is not on the screen, to get more. Oh, there it is right there. Get more information in the description. Go get that. So that's good. So thank you so much for Steve for coming through. Look, that guy's awesome. And again, I think that that's important to talk about. Just how humble and being out of Robinhood, just saying he's out. It hit his goal, he's out of it. So great call there. Great call on HIMS, although it did go against him a little bit there near the end. But again, when your targets are hit, you make the money and you go through it. So Derek, look, what a great show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For everything that you've continue to do for us on the show.
We actually have a super chat, sorry, I want to mention as well. Vaughn Clark, I was just going to respond to this in the chat, and then I thought I was typing and I wasn't. So MIRA, you're asking about MIRA. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Vaughn Clark. Yeah, they basically announced some positive preclinical results for their Mira 55 treatment. Yeah, this is, I guess, morphine comparable pain relief. So shout out to MIRA and their new treatment. That seems to be what is sending this to the upside. And I hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for your support for the show and for your super chat.
All right, we always do something fun here at the end of the day, and I got something for you right now. So with 4th of July coming through, obviously we just had Canada Day yesterday. But with 4th of July, a lot of, individuals, families, they go on picnics. Okay. Or they have barbecues. Okay, so I was going to say, what would be one picnic staple that if you went with a friend or a group of people and they said, Adara, we're having a picnic, you are bringing something. What is it that Adara is bringing? It is in this hand.
I've never been to raspberries.
Raspberries.
What are you bringing to a picnic?
What am I bringing to a picnic? That's a good question. I would bring, these are good questions, actually. I'm not even sure my own self. I was going to say the beer.
That's a way better answer. I don't know.
Some kind of an alcohol there, beverage, but we're not drinking too much anymore. I would say, how about nachos?
That's actually pretty solid, but I feel like nachos would get weird in the heat. The other thing I was thinking...
They would. No, but not with the cheese, but just kind of like, like Doritos.
Or like chips. Pie is what I was thinking too. Like
Don't tell that to Joe.
I know. But I think it's a fair one to have with your friends. Maybe you have to bring a knife though, or sandwiches. I don't know. I've never really picnicked, I've realized as I'm answering this.
Now that I think about it more, potato salad.
You see, that's a good staple.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just bring raspberries everywhere, so I went with raspberries.
Okay, well, hey, better answer than mine, I feel like. So you win on that one. All right, thank you so much, everybody. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Look, we're back live tomorrow. Me and Obi are going to take it off tomorrow, take the show going tomorrow, 8:30, as Neil is off and Brendo is off as well. Darren Sharif will be here tomorrow at 8:30 with Obi and myself, then joined by Joe. And we are going to have a full day of programming. It's just going to cut short, obviously, as soon as the market is over. So we're probably going to go to 1:15, 1:30 or so tomorrow. Yeah. But we're going to be on all day while the market's open, and then cut the recap show a little short. Have some fun with everybody at the end of the day. But join us tomorrow at 8:30 for full programming on the half day. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. Again, thank you so much to Global X for sponsoring the recap show. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Ciao.
Ciao.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.